Oh, that's a good way to start it.
I love that. I love that.
Well, I was gonna do this. Welcome, everyone. I was gonna put
the Sea Org.
and
Yes.
and
The Sea Org. Oh man, look at
and
that.
because I got recruited this weekend. To let y'all know. I'm sorry, my face is a little bit off, but I figured that they were gonna go ahead chop it up anyways and put someone else's face. I figured they'd put my own different face on.
You think they do that in the Sea Org?
So,
man,
I figured I'd just do
Too funny.
I think you should keep the hat on. That's just me.
Right? But if I could put it, I don't know if I could get it
Put
on.
the headphones over.
Oh, wait, it opened.
Hey, Tiffy, what's up?
Hey, Tiffy.
What's going on? Hope
you look really good in that hat, Rose. I'm just saying. It suits you.
You should change, instead of Roses or Red Podcast down there, to say like La Capitana.
Yes.
La Capitana. La
Maybe
Capitana?
I should take this to Vegas with me.
You should.
Oh, you're absolutely in
Yes.
the Sea Org. You're the admiral of the Sea Org.
Let's see if I can put it on without it.
Are you kidding me? That is fantastic.
It looks amazing. There we go.
There we go. Here we go.
Yes.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So,
Love
and then
it.
I do this.
Can you explain a little bit about the white face? Is that L. Ron Hubbard?
Yes. I have no hair yet.
Yeah.
I haven't made it that far up in the thing to grow hair yet, but no.
You got to be at least OT 5 to get it there.
Oh my gosh.
I figured, I don't know. I figured, this is the way I'm gonna go. Won't be able to see any comments. I should have, I should have made little holes instead of the eyeballs.
If you somehow can tape that to your face for the whole podcast,
It just sticks right in your head.
There you go, right about there. Does that work?
It does.
Okay, you guys are reading comments. Let me know how that works.
Wow. If you can do that for a while, I mean, that's scary. That would be, it would fuck me up, because I'd be trying to watch your face while I'm like trying to make a Scientology point, and I just want to be like,
I've got the giggles for
Sea
people.
Org. Sea Org.
We're not
Is that
allowed.
the song?
We're not even allowed to
It
talk,
must
I
be.
believe, right? I don't think we're allowed to talk either.
Sea
I
Org.
am, just not too much.
Sea
I was gonna have
Org.
little stick figures with little people on the side to put behind me, to stick them on the wall everywhere. I just forgot all about that, but I got the face done today. It took me a total of 2 minutes to glue all this on.
You had arts and crafts today.
Don't mess up your makeup though. That's some nice makeup you got.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. It looks really nice, right? Yeah.
Maybe it's L. Ron Hubbard. Maybe it's maybe.
Hold on, let's see. A little bit of.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Maybe it's L. Ron Hubbardine.
There we go.
Good Lord. We are silly, folks.
LRH.
Like,
All right.
I saw this hat and I was like, I
Whoa.
have to get it. I just had to.
Yeah.
I should. You know what? I should have wore a blazer too and a button-up shirt.
Word.
Oh,
And you got to get some
Like
credentials.
yes.
medals and shit.
and shit on the chest.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
Some God, anybody please correct me. I don't know what that's called. The metal, the things on the decorations.
Yes.
Those things, yeah.
Medals of valor or
Yeah.
whatever they are.
Valor.
Yes.
Yeah. There we go. But
Oh,
yeah,
careful they don't call you for stolen valor from
Right.
because that's the Sea Org is a serious organization.
It is.
So
it is. I got to be very careful. But
Last
I
knockoff of
figured
the Navy.
it's nothing to joke about.
I don't think I qualified to join the Sea Org. I think you got to be 15 to join. I don't think I qualify anymore. I think my calling's a little too late.
Funny that you mentioned that, and that's a
Yes.
beautiful thing to segue into. Guess what? I have a clip a little bit later on of a guy
Oh.
who is going to tell you that he was 11 years old and he signed a billion-year contract.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? Not even old enough to vote, but you can sign a billion-year contract.
Vote. He couldn't even crack one. He couldn't even.
I mean,
What's a good way to say masturbation?
not,
Couldn't. Maybe he did. I don't know.
I mean,
By 11, you're cracking it, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Where?
I guess.
I don't know. I
Sure.
don't know what the rules are on that.
Old enough to,
Old enough to know what a booby is,
a
but
booby is, but not really what it does or
yeah,
what it
exactly.
can do.
Yeah, but you can sign a billion-year contract.
Mhm.
Let me sign all of my lives over to you for 1,000,000,000 years.
all of my lives. All
love
of
them.
my life.
Yes. See, this is the beginning. See, when you see, can you see? I just only had eyebrows. This is when I
They're a
first
little
started.
crooked.
Damn.
They're a little crooked there,
It's
but that's when you first
well,
start.
he's kind of like this.
I can't.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, yeah.
Here, watch me try to do that.
Make me a sandwich or I'll kill you.
I can't
Rose
do
can't do
it.
it either.
I can't do it.
Nope.
Come on, making these faces going. Hey. Yeah,
We're
I
going to
figured
talk
you know.
about today. We're going to talk about David Miscavige. We're going to talk about Scientology Part 2, meaning we kind of like set it up really well in the last one. So if you don't know what we're talking about, or if you're watching this for the first time in the future or somehow in the past, then you are able to check out the first part of this installment, which is on all of our YouTube channels, and then you
It
can
is.
see the layout of everyone and Scientology, how it started, and all that kind of stuff. We had a good time doing it.
Yeah, should we do a quick recap of what Scientology is?
Take it away.
Just okay. So, L. Ron Hubbard, who was the most prolific science fiction writer of this time, he's produced more literary works. That's hard to say. Than anyone, more written word than anyone. He holds the Guinness Book of World Records record for it. Decided back in the day that he was going to make that religion makes you more money than his science fiction writing. So he came up with this religion. He came up with a book called Dianetics, and then he said, "Okay, people, we're gonna, I mean, this is a short synopsis of it.
Okay, people, get your shit together. We're making a religion here.
Come on." No, he goes, "Okay, so this guy Xenu." And he didn't tell this; he kept it at the cuff. But this guy Xenu, he was this alien overlord. He comes, he decides he's like a lot like Thanos. Hey sister, he's a lot like Thanos. And he goes, half these fucking people in this universe need to go. So I'm gonna fucking freeze them all, take them down to Earth, and put them in volcanoes. And they're
just ignore that part of the screen.
Yeah,
My God, that is rough.
We're gonna put them in volcanoes, and all their spirits are gonna attach to all the humans on Earth. And us as Scientologists are gonna have to use these cans and this like lie detector test to clear our what is it? AC, help me with the word.
You're talking about audit cans?
Yes. What does that when you clear yourself? It's you clear your
thetans.
Your thetans.
Right.
Yes, thank you. I can't remember that fucking word. Whatever it is.
Think of it as swords inside your body, like souls, like souls made swords that just stab you.
So you have to clear your thetan, and that means that you have to get rid of all of your, every transgression that you've done or, in the past or whatever. And then once you've done that, then you get to learn about Xenu. And then you have to clear the thetans that are attached to your fucking body and their fucking past lives and their transgressions. And it just keeps going and going. It costs you a lot. It takes about $250,000 to become like high level fucking OT8 fucking Scientologist. And there is the synopsis. Now we go on.
Everyone, please give it up. What up, Southern Hubs? What's going on?
Hey, Southern.
Jamie, how are you? Dave in the house. Tiffy's still here. What's up? We're talking about everybody's favorite science fiction religion, Scientology. So tell us what you guys think about it too. And it's not just us yapping up here. Tell us what your thoughts, if you've ever made contact with them, like if there was some kind of an alien, right? If you ever made contact with a Scientologist. But no, like do you know one? I know that back in the 80s when I was growing up in the early 90s, there was definitely a Dianetics book on my mom's table. I remember.
Really?
Yeah, it's a self-help book. That's what wine moms did back in the day. That's
Oh.
try to, well, who doesn't want to get better, right? Who doesn't want to get help on seeing the world maybe a different way than you do, right? It doesn't mean that you ultimately, if presented with the Xenu factor of this, uh, you know, that part, there's always something really easy so people can get into it marketing wise,
It is rooted
and then
in
you pull the rope and you're like,
psychology.
oh, by the way,
Yes.
there's a fucking galactic overlord. You started off by going, oh my god, I just wanted to see if I was fucking like I can
As
help
long as-
myself a little bit. I just
yeah.
want to make some more money. Like, no, galactic overlord, sorry. $500,000.
Yeah.
There's always something that pulls you in. It's always one toke, one sniff. Now you're selling it,
Yeah, I
not
get it. I
not
mean, my mom went to a church retreat and found the Holy Spirit and came back changed, and we were like, "Who the fuck are you?" I mean, I get it. I mean, same but different. Does that make sense? Not that I have my own thoughts on that. Mom, I'm sorry
Yeah,
if you're listening
so
to
do I.
this.
Right.
But
Jamie,
Jamie, don't tell mom.
you keep this between us and the internet, okay? You keep us. We're on 6 different channels live right now.
Mom doesn't
Don't
listen
tell
to my
anyone.
shit anyway. But I get it. I mean, Dianetics are, finding the Holy Spirit, but it is what it is. So,
So
where do we go now?
great synopsis there. So what I was saying was that is what we talked about in the first episode. So Sam did a great recap of all that. Now that you're kind of up to speed, of course, if you want more information, it's all over the internet, all over YouTube. There are people who actively are anti-Scientologists and Scientologists, right? And then I wanted to kind of plant this seed for everyone to think about. Right now, you can be a Scientologist or an anti-Scientologist. And either of those can be a religion too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to throw you all a curveball and tell you that maybe the way that Scientology looks at it, people who are anti-Scientologists make shit up too to try to get them in trouble for whatever transgressions they did, right? 2 wrongs don't make a right always, but you know what I'm saying? There's a
Right.
dichotomy here. Like it can be both too. Like I think maybe the people who get out might be misguided as well. Because Mike Rinder, for example,
Yes.
remember Mike Rinder?
Yes.
Well, Mike Rinder now, there's something called the Aftermath Foundation. The Aftermath Foundation is people who are trying to recover from this, get out of what they're doing in Scientology and the Sea Org and all that kind of stuff. And then Mike Rinder, that organization had a guy named Aaron Smith Levin, and he's growing up Scientology, right? He's that channel.
Right.
And he's on the board of the Aftermath Foundation. He made a video about something that wasn't good to talk about in terms of the parameters. Now, he started the Aftermath Foundation with another guy.
Mm-hmm.
There were no ethics. There was no code of ethics that were written when he made it. And then cut to some years later, Leah Remini, all this kind of stuff. Now he's getting thrown out from being in the board because there are code of ethics. He's like, I made this fucking place. What do you mean
So
there's a code of ethics? I never wrote
Rinder
one.
that's doing it?
Mike Rinder's, yes. So there's some things that
So
are happening
he's
behind
like
this. And this is
going,
recent.
let's make this Scientology again, like revisited only in our wake. Let me reinvent Scientology.
Exactly. So a lot of the office of OSA, right, where he was a part of the making sure that people were compliant, if people were like, the special affairs, like making sure that everyone was happy, but also like attacking people who are detractors of Scientology, right?
Yes.
So he was the pit bull. He was the battering ram against these people. And some are saying that now, since this happened, and people are in turn covering up for Mike Rinder and what he used to do, because there's some shit that I'm sure that he did in Scientology that's pretty heinous. So nobody's really talking about that. Thank you for this thumbs up on my
You
thing.
did that here.
I did that.
You did
it. So
yeah,
this is it. But some people might say that he's applying some of those tactics that he used to fiercely protect the Church of Scientology now in this anti-Scientology movement. So it's crazy. Like psychology wise, you can take the kid out of, the streets out of the kid, or what is it? You can take the kid out of the streets, out of the street out of the kid. So he's going back to his like pit bull tactics of like, oh, somebody's attacking me, no matter what side he's on. So,
well, the thing is, I mean, you wouldn't, I guess logically in my head, maybe not logically in everybody's head. Yes, it was so the aftermath of Scientology. Yeah, I fucking did that, but I was part of this cult, religion, whatever you call it. And I can come out of that and be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to own up to it because that was what I was either brainwashed to do or whatever. You can blame it on on Scientology, but I think it's crazy that he's applying those tactics to now I'm in this movement and I'm fucking with the person. You know what I mean? I'm still doing it. So maybe am I really outside of Scientology or am I really, you know what I mean?
Or did I take everything I've learned and apply it to my own way in a fascist way? And like,
yeah, so now I'm going to do my own religion. Yeah. I don't know.
That could be it. There's a lot of people defecting. And like I said, and I want to make sure that people know that there's a Scientology, an anti-Scientology, and then people who have been both and then are none now. Yeah. And there are people who detract from both sides and call out the bullshit, the horrors of Scientology, but also the horrors of now the hypocrites that are now anti-Scientology. Just because they got out, now they want to get back. There's a kind of retaliation mentality. You know what I mean? So
it's kind of like starting their own thing, like a whole new Scientology part 2.
Yeah. Like Rose, do you think
what would they call it?
Do you think atheism is its own religion?
No. I don't think so. I think it's their own belief, but not their own religion. The reason why I say that, my ex-husband was atheist, and it's I believe it's your own belief. Well, I mean, everything is your own belief, right? Your own religion, your own belief. What you think.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, I guess I never really thought about it that way.
This is the bigger point. The bigger point is like, even the if you're so sure that there is something, and I'm on the other side saying that absolutely there is not, we both have the same conviction, right? And it's hearsay. I can't prove that to you. You can't prove it to me. So we're both believers of something. Belief equals faith. Faith equals religion, right?
Right.
Like we're both and that's what I'm kind of saying with Scientology and anti-Scientology. I just don't want to make it so one-sided. And I know you didn't think I was going to do that, but we have to present both sides in my opinion, right?
And please, by the way, everybody do your own research. Don't just take our side for it. Go ahead and do your own research. These are just our opinions, our thoughts, and what we've come up with and our things that we've done our research on. So
yeah, we've literally researched this the last few weeks. And we've formed our own we've formed our own opinions. We've we have our own takes, and AC's here to play devil's advocate, which is good. I like having
I like Scientology. It's not so much that because
no, I know, but I mean, it's good to look at things in all perspectives, right?
Yeah, because if not, it's just like a it's not even interesting to hear a bash fest.
Right, exactly.
After a while, you know what I mean? Your own research.
That's funny.
Right. Yeah, Rosa does her own research on everything.
I do look.
Oh my God, that's how you look after she does her own research. She got all the boosters and the vaxes, and now she looks like that.
Now I look like this, and I haven't made it all the way up in the organization because that's why I don't have hair yet. But
you have kind of a hair. It's like a mullet.
Yeah.
I will get there next time.
And Tiffy says a religion equals belief system, but belief system does not necessarily mean religion, in my opinion. Though, yes, both do need to be considered here.
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly.
So it was just something to think about. I don't, and because people who are theistic will automatically fall back on faith.
Right.
And then on the other side, we almost always fail to say like, well, I have faith that there's nothing or whatever, right? I'm just presenting none of the other side there so people can understand that they see us. And Rose, now you know you're second atheist, right? Because I am. So when you have such, I can also tell you that I don't know. And that's what makes me a little bit different. Like I'm not in the atheism isn't my religion.
I feel like you're more agnostic.
Present yourself. I would like Jesus Christ to
Yeah.
descend
Show me.
upon the White House and, you know, whatever God does, you know. What, I don't know where you're gonna do that on the tip of the Capitol.
Jesus.
You get to do it on the tip of the head. Here, hold on.
He kisses you gently on the forehead. Kisses that monster gently on the forehead.
No, I understand. Dave's very agnostic.
I almost want
Maybe
there
I
to
am
be.
too.
I almost want there to be. I want there to be. But
Yes.
since there isn't, I like to play on a good. I like to be on a team. I don't want to be like the odd man out at, like, you know, gatherings or walk into a church and I'm like, you know, which happens a lot, actually.
Does it happen all the time?
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, I shouldn't be here.
Like a poof. Jay just sits down, like just straddles the White House and just. I actually got some really cool Jesus AI photos to share when we do the Going to Hell show.
That sounds good.
Yeah, yes. Jesus in like a military outfit and like Jesus, like robotic Jesus on a cross. It's pretty cool. Like it's called Jesus 2, the Resurrectioning. You know, it's action movie Jesus.
Again, kind of what I said last week. I mean, what's the difference between a religion and a cult? With a cult, you know, one guy is alive and knows it's a scam, and in a religion, he's dead now.
He's dead.
So, I mean, how do we know? You know, we don't. I'd rather err on the side of caution. So, I'm as Dave says, I'm prayers, he's thoughts. You know, he's very, you know, but I'm also in the same mindset of like, maybe there isn't, you know. So,
but do you think maybe all this is because of the way we've all grown up? Like, if it wasn't for our parents and our grandparents installing in us, you know, going to church or the Bible or Christ or whatever, you know, or growing up and you start seeing it, do you think maybe the Scientologists, it's just all packed in their head at a very young age? Because
of course it is.
There are people, but remember the self-help part where, and sorry to cut you off, you can have it right back, but I'm saying literally what you mean is like they're born into it, but there are people who at 45 go, I want to change my life. I think I can do better. I need a little help. And I'm not necessarily like religious, but I do want to do better. I want that religion crutch without the religion
indoctrination.
Like right? Yes. Like the shame. But I want the good part, not the shame. So people will do that, and then, you know, by the time you're hooked, you're like, oh, don't you want to go to OT2 and 3?
Well, and that's the very crux of, or the hook of Scientology. It is that self-help. Let me this is scientific, you know, let me put you up on with these cans, and it's like a lie detector, only it detects these thetans, sorry, I always say it wrong. Thetans in your, you know, and you have to clear that in that part of your mind. You know, what have you done wrong? And then it's like a therapy. It is rooted in a lot of psychotherapy. That's kind of the way it came about. So in a way, the beginning parts of Scientology are kind of good. And listening to the things I've heard about, like with Leah Remini and whatever, you know, they feel like they have to fix the world. You know, let me heal you from all of your woes, you know, and if you go about it about science, I mean, cool. I scientifically fix me, please. You know what I mean? It's a good ruse. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's kind of how I thought about it. It is a good way to not have well, it is a doctrine, but you know what I mean?
A dogma.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
You know,
there's not this overwhelming dread of, you know, I have whatever.
Yes. Well, if you have 1,000 billion lives and you can sign up for a $1 billion contract, like the main thing about religion always.
This one up.
Rose, I wanted to hear. I still wanted to hear what you had to say. I'm sorry, but like that $1 billion contract really fucks up this life. You don't enjoy this life as much, and you don't have to, because there's going to be later is always going to be better. So it always diminishes this life, and that's something I have against religion. We're trying to diminish this life as much as possible. And no, don't worry. Why don't you remember your past lives? Because you just don't, and you have to trust that you don't. So like you have to, you know, it's always for the next one. And I think people forget to live in this one because they're always preparing for this paradise that may or may not come. So Rose, I'm sorry I cut you off earlier.
No, you're fine. Hey, truthful. No, I just, I don't know. It's hard for me on a lot of, with the billion-year contract. Someone said, you know what, you got to give me to join this religion or this church or anything, you got to give me 1 billion years of your life in a signed contract. I would laugh. I don't think I
Most
would
of
be
us
able, like,
Most free thinkers would.
Well, hold on.
and
We talked about it, excuse me, last week. If Jesus Christ came up to you and you knew it was Jesus and you were a Jesus believer, and he said, I need you to sign this billion-year contract, 100% of all the Christians around the world would sign that contract. Hands down. Because you
But
just,
probably,
right?
Okay, me,
not
I
it's
would
not that
go, "Are you
crazy.
sure you're Jesus? Show me." You know what I mean?
yeah.
Prove it.
If even
And I'd be like,
today, of course,
I would
even if
be
you just
like,
send it, it'd be
"Prove
like
it."
hologram. It's a fucking hologram.
I'm like,
You
"No,"
know?
I'd be like, "Prove it. Do something that shows that you're fucking Jesus.
Do some
I need
magic,
the
Jesus.
goddamn proof."
Do some
right?
magic.
Exactly.
And my
Turn
next
water
question
into
would
wine or
be,
whatever it may be. You know what I
my next
mean?
question would
I
be
don't
like,
think
what am I giving up?
I don't think I'd take it at face value, though.
Mhm.
I'm kind of a critical thinker that
I'm a
way.
narcissist. I don't know. Well, I might be a narcissist, but I have
Skeptic?
a cynic is what I'm looking for.
Yes,
I'm a
cynic.
cynic and a narcissist, but I
No.
look at everything cynically, and that's the question. Rose, what would happen if you saw on the news and they said, "This is it. Jesus has come back. He's on." Like, what would it take for you to believe? Would you just believe, or would you because the news says it, or like? And
You
everyone
know,
around you started believing, or what would you need from Jesus to believe that it was Jesus?
I
You
don't
know?
know. I mean, if you're gonna ask me to give up drinking or something, I'd be like, sorry, just not doing it. You know
Send
what
me
I
the hell
mean? It's
right now.
like,
Send me that.
just send me now. But I mean, we have that
Uh,
in Mexico. How many stories in Mexico do you hear, at the Virgin Mary is on a tree or on an egg or on, you know what I mean? There's so many stories that they say in Mexico about that they they've showed up and people do believe it. And then you got hundreds of people running, but it's just a carving that I've seen. I'm like, look at it, I'm like, I don't see it. What is everybody else seeing? Because I don't see it. So maybe I am going to hell, probably. I mean, maybe that's why
oh,
I don't
we
see
are.
it. But
All the cool kids are going to be there.
Children
It's
out
fine.
children out
yeah.
of wedlock, premarital sex, impure thoughts, masturbate. You name it. We're
All the things yet I'm supposed to, though, all those sins are supposed to be the same. Okay, we're going off on a whole fucking tangent.
this is good. This is
Not
good.
Scientology, but all those sins are supposed to be the same as somebody who murdered. You know what I mean?
This is a good comment. Leave this one up.
Yes.
Sorry. I didn't want her to
Yes.
let it go.
Yeah, I had to go
uh,
back up. I was
are,
like, oh, wait a minute.
are you done? Okay, this is a good one because Tiffy says that's a pretty big commitment. Is there an option for Rumspringa? Rumspringa is a really interesting thing. So Amish people, these people, is it Amish?
I don't know.
Hold on. Is it? I want to
feel
make
like
sure.
I
I don't
should
want to
know
sound like
this.
an idiot. I don't want to sound like an idiot.
Go, give me a second.
Rumspringa is Amish. I want to sound like an idiot. Yeah. So
It
Rumspringa,
is. It is.
right? So the Amish people. So like at 14 or 15, the kids have an opportunity to go live in the outside world. Outside, the Amish people live with no telephones. If you ever want to do an Amish episode, I'm down with that. But
Yeah, same.
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna be tough with no computer. Get it? And so they live in no cell phone, no electricity, lumber. Everybody has the weird haircut, blah blah. And the kids, once they come of age, they get to see what life is like that until they get older, and then they decide, okay, do I want to be Amish the rest of my life and follow these teachings and live like an Amish, or is there a fucking off ramp to this shit? Because
Or who's coming with me?
who's coming with me? And that's pretty, yeah.
I mean, seriously, I'm gonna go.
Literally. But there's an off ramp in that religion, so
Mhm.
they go and live like a normal teenager, do ecstasy, get eaten out, get behind somebody, everything that kids
In a
do.
way, is kind of a great idea. I mean,
Yeah,
if
it's a free pass.
if you're gonna indoctrinate somebody, you go, okay, go see what else the world is, right?
Great comment, Tiffany.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great philosophy. I mean, I wish I would have had that option even in being a Christian. You know what I mean? I went to a Lutheran school from kindergarten through 8th grade. I was force fed it. I was, you know what I mean? I was, had to do catechism and whatever. And then they were like, no, this is what you have to do. And then when I was like, nah, deuces, I mean, they were like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? I wish I'd have had that like option to just go be free for a moment. And I could have made I kind of did that.
I can look up the percentages, but I believe that most of them come back.
That's insane. I didn't. Not to Amish, but I didn't. I mean, I believe in God, kind of. I don't mean to be like that, but you know what I mean? I still have doubts and whatever, but I am not the same Christian I was when I was in, grade school.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. And I can even say I'm more agnostic than I actually, let on to my mom I am.
So your mom, you're like,
yeah.
Right.
Well, and it's interesting you say that because my son, he's going to Bible school and Bible study, and that was his choice. He wanted to do that. And he was telling me, he's like, Mom, he goes, did you know that in the Bible it says this? And he quotes things, and I'm just going, did I miss something? I don't remember some of the stuff he says from when I was in Bible study school. But I don't know. Things change, and so then you start wondering.
But they can't change because
They can change, right?
Religion cannot change.
No, but I'm saying the wordings are different. Things are just different. And I don't know if maybe because the
Makes me wonder, are they trying to make it hip?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool Jesus with a whip or something.
I just had a whole ass visual.
Me too.
I'm going back to the Sea Org. Yeah. See you guys later. I'm going back.
just a cool fucking techno Jesus.
Right. I'm just going back. Well, they have now techno Bible music.
No, shut up.
No fucking way.
They do.
That's all for tonight, guys. Thank you so much.
We're out. Drop mic.
Fuck you saying?
They have EDM fucking
what?
Jesus music.
You can't just say that, Rose, because I'm gonna fucking fact check you right now. We're gonna watch it.
Yes.
You better
There
find
is a guy. There's a guy on, I think he's on TikTok that also plays the techno Jesus music on TikTok. And that's how I was like, what?
That is such an oxymoron. I mean, I think of techno, EDM, and fucking lots of drugs. and dancing with glow sticks. I mean, how does that equate to Jesus?
I don't know. I have no idea.
No,
I haven't heard it. I didn't hear anything about it. This is as fast as I can find one.
Okay, find it. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Hold on.
This is A1. I don't know if this is the one she's talking about, but this is some Jesus techno music. Not
Our God is an awesome God. This is a fucking good song.
Techno version.
Let's hear it EDM.
This shit's fire. Hold up. Let's see.
I sang this in 8th grade.
Can you hear it?
Yep. It's starting out pretty norm.
Drop this shit.
I'm waiting.
I'm waiting here.
Bated breath.
Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom.
I'm done. See you guys later.
Our God is an awesome God.
Before the drop?
God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above.
That was awful. Oh, jeez Louise. All right, so should we talk Scientology?
Okay, before we go on, we've got a message.
We have a voice message?
Yes,
No
from
way.
Daniel Mars.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Nancia.
Nancia.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Mr. DeMars.
Oh, and of course, Miss Red Rose. We can't forget. Come aboard. They're expecting you.
Exciting.
Something for everyone. Captain's hat.
Nice.
Brooke, how are you? It's been a long time.
Hey, Brooke.
Here, thank you for
Hey,
joining.
Brooke.
So
So
that's the thing. So there's Jesus techno. That was just the first one, and that was the drop was hot. The drop was hot. Our God is an awesome God. So
that's why that's it. I'm going back to Scientology.
I literally sang that for my 8th grade confirmation.
got it.
It's
Got it.
bad.
So tonight's secret Scientology, or is that an end? No, we're really doing it.
No, we were
We're
actually
really
doing
doing
it. Sorry.
we had to set up
We went off
religion as
on
a whole.
Yes.
So
Trying to figure I can't even talk anymore.
Words are hard, Rose. I get it.
words are hard. So everybody's heard of Leah Remini, right?
Yes.
And Leah Remini started a couple years ago, like what wrong? What 2015?
It was 2013 actually. when
13.
she-
No, yeah, 2013. And she was I mean, she almost single-handedly took down so much of it, right? And this is where I say, like, holy crap. There is a whole resistance movement. It's not just like she sparked a couple different people to like join her to bring people back from Scientology, right? What do you?
Well, and
what do
she
you-
was one of the kids that had been brought up in Scientology. She was 9 or so when she had her mom had met her stepdad, who was a Scientologist, and even though he left the church, and they, he was a what's it called? He was a guy that they didn't want to talk to. What is it called when they don't? What's the people called when they separate? Sorry,
Oh.
AC.
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
What do they call the people that separate?
I'm sorry. I had Leah Remini in my ear. Sorry.
They are whatever people.
What people? The people like which people are called what?
What do they call when you can't talk to the person?
A suppressive person.
Suppressive person.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't think of it. I was like, he
All good.
knows it. I need him to tell me this.
I got you. In
So-
fact, I have something for you.
Hey,
while you
Jace,
talk.
by the way. No, he had actually
Divorced.
he was a divorce. That's funny. But he had separated from the church and they stayed in it. Suppressive person, yes. So he stayed in it, or they stayed in it, and then so she had been in it since she was little. So I thought that was very interesting when she was like, "No, fuck this, I'm going to question it," which most of us would do, but I don't know.
Curious about
I don't know where it's
yourself?
going
See the
there.
bottom corner here?
Yes.
No, definitely. And yeah,
You want to see take our free personality test?
and I wanted to piggyback off that and kind of, because we went into suppressive person last time, and these are people that can't be in your life anymore, right? And I think
Yes.
we understand the term as far as like people who are not into Scientology, like, oh, so I'm a suppressive person. But this is what it sounds like from their point of view. So this is from Scientology.org. So how do they spin it to make it sound good? This has to, right? I haven't read this, but this has to be, right? It has to be spun
Yeah.
like in a good way for them, right?
Right.
Agreed. Yes.
A
Well, it's kind
suppressive-
of like the dad. Remember the dad of the what is it? The president? I don't know. The main guy from Scientology. The dad left the organization.
Gavish.
Yeah,
Yes.
Miss Gavin.
Yeah, and he's not even allowed to. Like he's even There's some videos on. I want to say, I think it was YouTube I saw where he's calling his son up, and they place him on hold, and then they put him on an answering machine. He's like, "This is your father. Give me a call. I need to talk to you. This
Well-
is
Yeah. Yeah.
And-
no,
Yes.
that's a crazy story, dude. And he had to escape.
Yeah.
Escape, like
but-
bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Yeah. Like it was a thing.
Yeah. I mean, when you are a suppressive person, I had a thought. Fuck. No, they literally make websites about you and
Yes.
slander you.
Yeah.
They slander you. They make up shit. They take from your bindings of everything they've written down about you. When you do your
Audit. Mhm.
they write down everything you've ever said that you've ever thought you've done bad, and they go back to it and then they spin it on these websites to make you look bad because you're no longer a friendly. So
It's kind of sad though. I mean, can you think about it like not being able to ever talk to your mom or your dad or your brother, your sister or your aunt or somebody you're so close to and just never be able to say a word to them again. Like That's kind of
If
sad.
somebody told me I could not talk to my children, I'd be like, "Fuck off. I'm out. Deuces." You know what I
Right?
mean? They're my kids. I don't
That's
care
a
what they fucking do. They're my fucking kids. You know what I mean?
So
I
suppressive,
don't think I could do it.
a,
I don't
suppre-
either.
a suppressive person. Let's get kind of to the media. I couldn't do it either. I mean, there's a couple of people I could suppress. I can think about a couple of people actually.
I've
I
suppressed
take that back. I
people.
will suppress.
I've suppressed people, just not
I'm
the
not even a
ones that
Scientologist.
I've suppressed people who needed to be suppressed. You know what I
I
mean?
like that part of it actually.
Yeah. You're dead to me. I mean, I'm Italian. I mean, I can cut
Sorry.
people out of my life anytime.
You didn't have to cut
Right.
me out.
But I don't
So-
think I
so-
could do that with my mom and dad.
No.
Well, you don't believe
I
that.
don't-
You're not a good enough Scientologist, Rose.
Let me go back to the Sea Org. Hold on. Let me go back.
Put that back on.
Let me just go back to
Go
my
back on.
corner over here.
Get into the sea. Go back to
Hold
the Sea Org.
I will
Going
be
back
right
to
back.
the Sea Org. And oh, you know what? Before Sam comes back, let me go ahead and play the text message real quick.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Galaxy Audio presents False Cargo by L. Ron Hubbard.
Your Scientology father. There's hundreds of these. They've all been put into audiobooks from all the things that he wrote. You can actually find them. They're actually rather cheap. They actually did a really good job with them, believe it or not. I have like, well, a dozen.
I like that. That'd be dope. I like to see that. I like to see that. Hell yeah. And you can also send me links. And then next week, I'm not sure if we're going to do this show next week, but we will have in its stead, we're going to do Who's Coming With Me, which is the, I think it's going to be the big show where we bring where we bring the good memes and the weird videos that you can be a part of as well.
The
And-
launch of the new show.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be all of us. It's going to be like 5 of us, maybe 6 at times. People want to come up and roast a couple of videos. That's going to be fun. I've been looking forward to that. Every week I'm like, when is it? When is it? When is it?
No.
It's got to be now.
No.
Let's do it. I think I'm going to fire up the Kick for that as well, because that's going to be, I think it'll work well with Kick because we might not make it on YouTube once we roast our 5th paraplegic. You know?
Right?
So I'm kind of worried about that. Not gonna lie, but I will go on Kick.
Did they join the Sea Org organization too?
Probably.
Just wondering.
Probably.
Just asking
The
for
whole-
a friend.
YouTube is run by the Sea Org. Obviously.
Damn it. I better go back. Let me go
Yeah.
back. I got to go back to post. Hold
You have
on.
a lot of new research to do.
I know so much more. Damn it. But yeah, no, it's I don't know. I just, you know what I don't understand is how could you ask that of somebody not to speak to somebody, especially your own father, and now his father can't even talk to his own son. That to me is like,
Because they're gonna put it in a way that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So for example, here, based on the church, so we'll wait for Sam will catch up, but a suppressive person, so people can understand what the fuck we're talking about, is a person who seeks to suppress other people in their vicinity, like they're like other people around them, right? So a suppressive person will goof up or vilify any effort to help anybody, and particularly knife with violence anything calculated to make human beings more powerful or more intelligent. That's a really wordy. I don't think I got all of that in the first read. Let's see. The suppressive person is also known as the antisocial personality. Within this category, one finds Napoleon, Hitler, unrepentant killer, and drug lord. What? But if such are easily spotted, if only from the bodies they leave in their wake, antisocial personalities also commonly exist in the current life and go undetected. If you're reading this and you're wondering if you should make your son a suppressive person, like they just talked about Hitler, Napoleon, they talked about, I mean, that sounded pretty bad. You know?
yeah, I mean, guess anything with Hitler, and it's kind of like,
I mean, Napoleon too. They seasoned it a little bit with Napoleon, but they're basically like in the first couple of paragraphs, they're already saying like these people are antisocial, these people are Hitler, these people are Napoleon. You know what I'm saying? They're already just making you disconnect from that person. You know, like even in the verbiage
Yeah.
on their own
They
website.
are like a narcissist boyfriend. No,
You
for
love
real.
me. You love me, right? Only me. I'll
No,
hit you.
exactly. When you're dating somebody that is that way, they say, "Oh, every person in your life is a suppressive person. They're telling you the wrong things, and I'm going to tell you the right things." Right? So it's a, I mean, it's an abusive fucking religion. Meaning, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna sequester you from all of the things that ground you, and then you know what I mean?
That's the Venn diagram. That's the
Yes.
Venn diagram of it. Right in the middle is like, I don't need, like, I have all the answers. Do not look away.
Yes.
So outside, so for any other nuanced way to think or any kind of research that you can do on your own, I have all the answers.
Yes.
There's
Only
no
come
need
to me.
Right, because anything will spoil the pot. We'll break you down little by little when you get here, so you can only understand that I am that person.
It's
You know,
the ultimate abusive
classic
relationship.
cult. I think an abusive relationship is a little cult. It's a little tiny
It is.
mini. It's
It's
a
just
mini.
mini two-person, little two-person cult.
Oh, 2-person cult. You do what I say, and you shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. Don't listen to all your fucking friends who actually are telling you the truth. I tell you the truth. That's exactly what it is.
He's a loser, babe. Shut up. He loves me like
All right,
no other.
we've got another
Somebody
message.
loves
Here we
me.
go.
Somebody loves me.
Here we go. Here's the next message.
And for all you Scientologists that want to convert, here's something else for you to convert to instead.
Oh Cthulhu, oh Cthulhu, oh Cthulhu, oh Cthulhu, oh great Cthulhu.
Lord Cthulhu. Oh, hail Lord Cthulhu. Oh, Cthulhu is another rabbit hole you guys would love, actually. We'll put that on the list.
Okay.
Good call, Zancia.
I've never even heard of Cthulhu.
Cthulhu. Check this out.
That's right.
Let's see. Let's go here.
Oh, this is a good one. I watched this whole thing.
Yeah, this is a really good one. This is a couple years ago,
I
obviously.
feel like they have a little connection though. This
Oh,
whole
they
thing, I
do.
feel like there's something there because boy, were they?
Well,
I don't know about you. Were they
I
flirting?
respected him. Not in a way. I don't know how we all banter, you know what I mean? But I mean, she respects that he's with his wife and whatever. But yeah, they had a little flirtation banter.
That's
going
his
on.
type, dude. You can tell. Like that's
Yeah.
like it's not our fault. Sometimes we automatically, as soon as we engage with somebody that's our type, we're just
Yeah,
like,
you're like,
boo. And we just
like
absolutely
angry
card
right
out.
now.
It's not
yeah.
our fault.
His face. His face is like,
Boo. It's literally that. That's how I
Yeah.
sound. I think I'm going like, hi, hello. Very nice to meet you. My name is, you know, a pleasure to make your acquaintance or whatever. I'm actually like, anyway, this is
So, yes.
Leah Remini. Holler if you hear me. This is Leah Remini on Joe Rogan. And this is right to the point. I think this is where we wanted to be last week. We kind of missed
Absolutely.
this to wrap it up, but this is the chapter where kind of we understand a little bit. Finally, you get to see the sacred documents. Okay.
Yes. I'm so
This is
right.
the moment you're going to get the sacred documents.
So my mother, yeah. So because I'm a celebrity, they let my mother come in, and she was also higher level than me, right? So imagine I'm in this like double, like, so you go through one door and then security, and then you got to get a lanyard, you got to get like clearance, you got to go take a picture, you've got to sign documents to say if I ever reveal this, it's going to be $100,000. You know, you don't ever get to read any legal document that Scientology gives you. So you just sign things, you know, they say sign here, it's like today what you did here. So I don't know, I could be married to you, as for all I know, what I signed today. I like how you shook your head no. You don't need to shy. Okay, so you know comedy. You don't deny, Joe, so I don't know why you keep denying.
That's how you step up comedy another notch.
Got it. You deny.
You just go, no.
That's the face right there.
Exactly.
He's fucking doing it.
Yep.
Motherfucker's doing it. Let's see. But so the process, the sacred documents. It's back
There we
here.
go.
Look at this now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because I'm a celebrity, they let my
Oh
mother
no, I'm
come
sorry.
in.
I think it's
She's
further
we
up.
saw
level
that.
than
Further
me,
up.
right?
The process.
So imagine I'm
The
in this.
beings.
They talk a lot.
So you go through one door, and then
auditors.
security, and then you got to get the lanyard. You like
Eventually, I'm going to receive enough information where
Correct.
this is all going to be, think it over. Eventually, I'm going to receive enough information where
Correct.
this is all going to be like, oh,
Right.
I was a fool. I didn't
Right.
understand.
Right. So,
Right.
for example, one time I had talked to a friend about it. I said, I heard something about some Xenu shit. She pulled me into Celebrity Center so fast, into a secured room, and she handed.
Bitch, is you crazy?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Bitch, you can't be saying that word around here.
It's true.
me my ass. She said, "Don't you ever say that word outside a secured room. I'm writing a knowledge report on you." She said, "I'm writing a report on you."
That's what they do. They
You
tattle
never
on
say
each
that
other.
word out loud in a room that's not secured. Okay, and never say it again. So she wrote a report on
A
me.
knowledge report.
She wrote a knowledge report on me. I got sent to what's called ethics, which is like the Justice Department of celebrities,
Ethics.
of Scientology, and
Right.
they said they brought me into another secured room because they have to get somebody who knows this information, and they said never ever say this, never confirm it, never deny it, never give that information out ever. Just never discuss it. Just say, "I've never heard of it. You sound crazy." Wow. And that's what we all say. You sound crazy. Or, properly done, you get it. Like you'll get it if it's properly done. Those people didn't do it properly. That's why they didn't understand it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, you can never lose. You can never lose if
Right.
it just wasn't done properly. It's a lot of religions. Like that's why people don't make a lot of predictions when you're when you're in a religion or when you're in something like this. Try not to make any exact predictions when they don't happen. Like the end of the world is, March 15th, 2025. That's gonna go and come, and you're gonna look like a fool. But of course, there's always rituals where it's like, well, you didn't rub the stone correctly, or or whatever,
Right.
So that's where it's at. So that's Xenu and kind of what it is.
I mean, that's how she came into it, and she was like, "Fuck this! Is this bad? I mean, this is something I don't actually believe, but I have to believe it. My mom's looking at me like I should. I mean, let's talk about some of the shitty things that have happened through Scientology, like
Boy, there's
things
a
they've.
bunch.
Yeah, there's a ton.
There's a ton. Like I heard about it, but not until I've seen things, little things popping up. Especially wasn't his wife disappeared?
Yes,
She didn't even go to the
that
the
is
wedding
why.
of Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that's why Leah Remini came out and said, "Fuck this shit." She's like, "Hey, where's my friend? Where is this?" She was like right-hand woman of Miscavige, and then nobody's really seen or heard of her from her since then,
Since
like
Tom Cruise
20,
wedding.
yeah, since before, because she wasn't there.
Yeah. And what has it been, over 15 years? 15, 16 years now?
Yeah, I mean, it's 2020,
So it could be
2024. Go ahead.
Mhm.
No,
Uh,
I'm just queuing it up.
Yeah, so they got married in what, 20, I don't know when they got married. She came away from the church in 2013, so it was probably 2006 or so. I don't know exactly the exact dates, but she wasn't there when Leah Remini actually left the Scientology. She formed a complaint with the police and said, "Go check on her. I need you to do a well person's check." And they're like, "Oh, she called us. It's fine." And she's like, "Did you see her? Is she okay? You don't know if that's her." And of recent date, she's actually Leah Remini has filed a lawsuit now against Scientology for defamation because of all of this. But yeah, I mean, there's not been a physical, like in person check
No,
to see
because
if
her
she's
family's
still there.
dead.
I
Her mom
mean,
and dad passed away.
mhm,
So she doesn't have nobody. So that's why Leah Remini did a missing persons report
mhm.
in their behalf, because she doesn't have family. And the police department said, "No, she's fine. We just know." And that's when the whole key came up. Well, is the police department part Scientology? And that's like a big
They,
question now.
Well,
they
yeah,
have a
That
lot of money.
Clearwater,
Yeah.
Florida, Hemet, California.
Yes.
Hemet, has one of the most awesome bases that they own in the entire country, which is gold base.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and Clearwater is completely overrun, and there are city council people who are just infiltrating. They've been sued a couple of times. They try to buy buildings, to kind of like monopolize downtown and make it
Well, there's
that.
a couple
And
people that have sued them, but they've
yeah,
never seen a day in court because they paid them off.
of course,
And
yeah,
so, that was one of the biggest things because there's I can't remember her name. She was a woman that left Scientology and they sued and they ended up not winning the case that they had to pay. So Scientology said, okay, well,
That
we're
is
not going to.
Yeah, that's actually the one that the aftermath, I believe her and her
Yes.
husband, they for whatever reason they filed the wrong way and they weren't able to do anything. Now there was also a trial that 2 days before the trial, they settled and were like, nope, we're not going to go to trial. We don't want we don't want this press. We're just going to give you the money. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah,
One press for
but
them is bad press for sure.
yeah,
Now, can
And
you imagine if this goes to court with Leah Remini? How many eyes are really going to be? This is like going to be a big thing. This is going to be, but I don't know if we're ever going to see it go to court.
I'm excited to see it because from everything that I've read on it, Leah Remini's lawyers filed it correctly. It wasn't about religion; it's more of defamation, and they
Mhm.
have made her so she couldn't work and things like that. They didn't go about the doctrination of the doctrination of the religion. It's more of the scare tactics and the defamation and the heavy-handedness of them. You know, when you leave the church, you know they stalk you and they threaten you and it's more about that than the actual
yep.
religion itself.
And we're going to talk about Mike Rinder in a little bit, who
Yes.
was the pit bull, who was the head of that, the guy who spearheaded
Yeah.
all the campaigns against people who dissent against Scientology and all the people who have trying to leave and all that kind of
Well, and
stuff.
they
So
even targeted him and all sorts of people.
60
So
Minutes
Well,
Australia did a great one on Shelley
yeah.
Miscavige.
oh, yes. Mhm.
hmm
I
Yeah,
saw
so we'll
that
take
one.
a look at that. This is Lex Friedman. Lex Friedman is a very popular podcaster. If nobody's ever heard of him,
I've pulled
uh,
this up too.
yeah, Lex Friedman.
Yeah.
He always wears the tie. He looks like a Men in Black.
Mhm.
So we'll take a shot. But also, this is Aaron Smith Levin, who is the guy from Growing Up in Scientology I was
Mhm.
telling you about, and he was as of recently not a board member of the Aftermath Foundation. So
Yes.
that's the one that Mike Rinder was somehow set up these ethics rules, but now
Right.
he was a founding member, and there were never any ethics rules. So
Right.
now we're kind of,
Now,
like we said earlier, a little bit. We're going to look at the other side a little bit after we keep that in mind when we look at these clips. Try to think of both sides and think
Yes.
now
about
before we go with that, so people keep
yeah,
in mind
Mhm.
that people can't escape. This is how bad that people can't escape. In Hemet, it's right by the freeway.
Mhm.
I can't remember the name of the freeway, but it's right by a freeway in Hemet. And people would, they would just walk across the freeway because it was just right there. And people were escaping. And so what they did is they built an underground tunnel so people would escape because they would call their family members on the other side and say, hey, can you pick me up? They would pick them up on the freeway. And so they build a tunnel so they couldn't escape, and that would have them more control on the other side when they would cross the freeway to the other side of the Scientology place. So that's how this is like one of the biggest things. You can't, once you're in, it's very hard for you to escape. It's not like you can say, okay, hey, nice to see you. Okay, I'm leaving now. No, it's not like that.
Also, that's a good point, Rose. Also, if you're a gold base, you have like harder duties. Like you're probably in the hole, which is something that we'll take a look at as well, because we're going to get to the darker side, right? We have
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think we have a whole hour
And
to get
remember,
to the
this
darker side.
isn't free too. It's not like these people are going in for free. You have to pay. There was a gentleman on and you can find him on YouTube. He actually, I can't remember his name. I wish I wrote it down. He speaks about how he just started Scientology and he's $5,000 in. They had asked him to go ahead and sell his house. And so he's like, look, I'm not selling anything. I can't afford it. I have a family. He's already $5,000 in the hole for one book, and he's only on
Oh,
like
yeah.
not even the
To get
first.
to OT8, most people pay about $250,000. So
So
they live in poverty to get to pay the church enough to get to
Yeah.
the upper levels.
I mean, what are you going to do with $5,000? Nothing. You're poor. $5,000 is going to fucking bring you back. You know, you're not going to be fucking Warren Buffett. Just the old church thing. Might as well give it to the church. Might as well pay it forward.
10% off the top, right?
Motherfuckers. Cheers.
Right, 10%. Here you go. Cheers. Can I have 10% of all of you guys?
Nope.
You can have 10% of D's. Nah.
Damn it.
Yeah, you don't want that. So, this is Aaron Smith Levin, and he's gonna talk to you a little bit more about what
He's
Xenu
bald.
is.
I'm bald. Look, no hair. We match.
He was in there forever, and his twin brother is still in there, and he misses his family terribly. He's had to come back, and he tries to wake people up, and like I said, he's kind of detaching from the Aftermath Foundation, which is his foundation, because of some shady shit that's happening maybe on the other side.
You're doing bad things that you're not telling people about. Like if you're committing present time overt crimes, sins, Scientologists would be like, that's part of the reason auditing isn't working on you, is because you're committing criminal behavior that you're not being honest about. So every Scientologist is sort of incentivized to make auditing work on them. Okay. Now, Lex, this is where it gets a little crazy. On OT3, you learn about the body thetans for the first time. When you finish OT3, you attest to having achieved the state of having no more body thetans. And then you start OT4, and he's like, psych, you got more BTs, except those other BTs, they had drug problems, and that's why you couldn't find them the first time. So we're going to do something a little different here, do something a little different there. Got to get rid of these BTs that were addicted to drugs. Okay. Then you finish OT4 and you're thinking, man, I hope we get to the good stuff soon. And then you get to OT5 and he's like, psych, you got more BTs. You couldn't find these BTs because they were all bunched up together in clusters. And first you have to break up the clusters and then you can get rid of the BTs. And you're like, okay, got to do that.
And this was all L. Ron Hubbard approved.
Yeah, this is from L. Ron Hubbard. And then after you finish OT5, you get rid of all the BT clusters. OT6 is just a training course to teach you how to audit OT7. Well, OT7 is now more BTs, except it's in the environment and stuff. You're trying to locate BTs. You can find them on your body, but it's just more BTs. Okay. And then OT8 is, remember we talked about in all these auditing sessions throughout the entire Scientology bridge, you have people who've run hundreds or thousands of past life whole track incidents. These memories have become part of their self-identity of who they even think they are. OT8, you go through all these past life recalls, and essentially, I'm oversimplifying this a little bit. He goes, psych, all those past life memories weren't yours. They were your BTs. And he goes, now that you've discovered this, now you know who you are not.
It's all the fucking things you
and
had.
You're ready to find out who
clinging to
you really are. Well, now you're supposed to find out who you really are on OT 9 and 10. Those don't exist.
Well, they made them up.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, it's insane. You're right. I have this literally printed out in front of me.
Yeah, I figured I found this and I figured that it would be better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's better than me holding it up to the camera. Do you realize there's negative 34 fucking levels just till you get to upgrade ungraded? Negative 34.
And then of course,
all you do is pay for every fucking one of those. You pay a dollar amount, not just a dollar.
What do you think is cheap? What do you think do you think it averages out? Do you think it averages out over time? What's more expensive? Being highly religious and giving 10% of your check for, I don't know, 40, 50 years of your life, let's say, if you're a part of one church, or going clear. What would be more expensive over time?
It probably does even out. Let's be real.
Right?
But here's the thing. In classic religion, if you're giving 10%, let's be real, you don't always fucking do that. You don't have to fucking do that to hear the word of God. I mean, and if you go with that, where'd you go? But if you do go with that, I can go to church and not put a fucking dime in that fucking collection plate and still hear the word of God, right?
True.
They don't say, pay, then come in, and then we'll impart some wisdom.
Right.
The difference is with Scientology, they go, pay, then maybe we'll give you a tidbit, and then you got to pay some more.
So what you're saying is the word of God is free because
In a way.
you don't necessarily have to pay to get the lessons to be close to God, but you do have to break the paywall to get anything from Scientology.
But here's the question,
Scientology is pay to play. It is. It's pay to play.
But where did, okay, if you go back to, for example, the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church, it wasn't that this was always you had to give 10%. Something happened within the past years.
Girl.
They started
No.
Before,
it says in the
before
Bible,
times you had to give in the before times.
Well, because I mean that's
it says
I've
in the
never heard of
Bible,
that.
You need to,
It's cheaper now.
It says in the Bible.
It's
It
cheaper
says in the
now.
Bible. The only reason I know this, I went to. It wasn't Catholic, but I was Lutheran, so it's very much the same. It does say
all
in the
the
Bible
same.
you need to give. You need to tithe, and then somebody in the church said it should be 10% before of the off the top, but it
Why
never
10%?
but you can, I don't know, because somebody said that's easy, it's 10%. I fucking don't know. But in all of that though, it doesn't say I have to give you 10% of my earnings before I walk into the church and know what you have to say. I can pick up a Bible and read it. I can't pick up the teachings of Scientology without paying you.
Then why do we have a pope or a fucking pastor? Still, they're still organizing it in a way that they make you think
they
you
are,
have to
but I
come
don't
to
have
this.
to pay to play though. I mean, I can come in
It's
pauper.
highly implied that you should pay a little
It is
bit.
highly implied.
You know?
It's saying even if I'm the fucking poorest of the poor, I should give to God before I give to you.
Because it'll come back to you tenfold.
But it doesn't say, but it doesn't.
It doesn't, no.
But it also doesn't say I have to.
But the times that it has, and by chance that person made something of themselves,
You're like,
or something
hallelujah.
something lucky happened,
Yeah.
then that is the only times it's like kind of winning. Like when I gamble, I'm only going to talk to you about the times that I won. I'm gonna be like, yo, I won $8,000. Like, well,
Agreed.
motherfucker, you played 22. You know what I'm saying? Like to get 8,000 back. You know what I mean?
But with Scientology, they go, give me $5,000 and then I'll tell you
Exactly
what'll save you.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of the difference.
I also believe, and maybe it's to see if you agree with me or not, both of you, is that this is a very new religion, and then there's no like in gamer terms. I'm a gamer. There's no end game.
No.
With Catholicism, end game is death, right? But like here, the end game is going clear, being able to.
You're leveling up. You're leveling up each and every
It's
time.
literally
You're like,
a fucking level up. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
It is a video game.
Yeah,
Mario
and
Brothers.
it's totally fucking pay to play because now you're on level 3, literally level 3, and now to get to level 5, it costs this much exactly.
Finish him.
Fatality. Oh, do I still have?
No, you have to, right?
Check your panties.
No.
That was good too.
Hold on, I'll find it. You keep talking.
I mean, for real though. I mean,
fatality.
There we go.
In the church I was raised in, Tiffy says, while you could not contribute minimum 5% per adult, it was very frowned upon, and this particular church did make it like uncomfortable. Yeah, it's true. And then the stigma, look, and then keeping up with the Joneses, right? Which has to be a part of Scientology too.
Right.
Like he's a better Scientologist than me. He has the golden cans or whatever, you know, like whatever the fuck they covet. Like they have the most science. Like we have to also get the most, bless you. We have to also get the most science, you know, or whatever the fuck they like. Or whatever status symbol makes them like a thing in Scientology. Like we all know church is a fashion show ultimately. Like when you go to like a church, people looking you up and down, like, look at this bitch wearing that shit to church, you know? And I'm sure there's different levels.
It's getting worse.
I mean, I guess as a child, I guess when you are a child coming up in it,
As
you
we
think
get older.
that, you know, it isn't that, you know, you think as if you go with, you know, God and Jesus, you know, bring bring the poor and the whatever, and we will, you know, make you better because you believe.
Bring us are sick and you're poor and you're malnourished and
Yes, exactly. I mean, and
which is a far cry from poor Get it together, motherfucker. Put it over your bootstraps. You know, get up from that floor, you stupid idiot. Get a
Yet
job.
all these poor were asking to give 10% of their income, even though it's taking food out of their mouths. I mean, it's fucking. It is a fucking mind fuck. But I mean, to pay $250,000 to reach the highest class of Scientology also is a little fucked up to me too.
Can we give it up one time for? Is that a Stanley Cup that you have there, Rose?
No, it's not a Stanley Cup.
It looks
looks
Actually,
like
it's
it.
not a
Look,
Stanley
it
Cup.
looks like it.
We
It
should.
is a Target cup that actually
Oh.
works better than a Stanley Cup. It actually
Is that what they
keeps your
told
ice-
you? Is that the mark?
No, you know what? I have
Yetis. You use Yetis were the best.
If anybody knows, I have a big addiction on cups.
I thought
I
about
do.
you with the whole thing with the Stanleys. I'm like, how many did she have?
Right.
And I only own one Stanley, and actually, I think I threw it out because if my ice can't stand to be cold for 2 days, frozen in my cup, no, not worth it.
Dude, do you have one?
I wasn't gonna show. I was just gonna fuck with you for a while.
Oh my god, it's
and
the
then
same
show it.
color. It's the same
Nah,
color.
Mine's green. Mine's
Mine's like
olive.
a teal green. It's like an olive green. So is mine.
Jeez Louise. What?
What in the world?
That's
Jeez
my wife's
Louise.
coworker's mom.
Okay, well that's fun.
She looked like a nice lady. I wanted to see her every morning. Tiffy says, also in this church was basically, she was referring to the church that she went to as a child, was basically you're set up for a date with a suitor by age 16, and by 17, if things went well, the couple was asked to save $1,000 together because they fucking financial plan you. See what happens when you give them a little bit? They financial plan you together, and then they had permission to marry young. How young?
Like 16 or 17.
Hold on, here we go.
Y'all hear Stanley Cup
Stanley's
tested positive for lead.
They all have lead. They all need to have a little bit of lead right here in order to hold the heat.
When
They all do.
me and my
Yetis
husband
are-
got together.
Plus, I like lead. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. I like lead. But it doesn't keep your ice cold for 2 days, I bet you. Mine keeps it for 3.
But do I have a massive tumor? I have a massive tumor because of this lead poisoning.
My ice has to be frozen for at least 2 days. I don't. It's my thing, and I have over 1,000 cups of Starbucks. I have ones that you can't find. I had people actually go to Hawaii to bring me the pineapple one.
Come on.
Yeah, I have over 1,000 cups. I even have all the minis. I have all the little minis. Yeah, all the match. I know.
And you're anti
Lord.
anti-Stanleys. So you're anti-Stanley. So when this whole thing fucking happened, you were like, fuck, I'm ready for everything else but Stanley. I fucking hate Stanleys, right?
No, I tried the Stanley Cup. It just doesn't. It leaks. For one, if you turn it upside down, it leaks.
It is fantastic.
Did you see the SNL thing?
I've had this for a year, by the way, way before this
The
bullshit.
Stanley Cup.
Turn it upside down. I bet it still leaks.
It works good. It doesn't have to be upside down. I don't drink upside down.
Who
okay?
needs their drinks upside down? Or you're like,
look, with my
I mean,
cup
is that what we're
wait,
doing here?
wait. Do that one more time.
I did it. I mean, you dared
My
me.
God. Is there no shame?
Nope.
Anyway.
None.
Anyways, back to the topic.
So that was the chart. That was the big Scientology chart with all of your.
There's so
and then
much.
there is some pricing. Yeah.
Well, okay. So when me and my husband got together, when we went to the Catholic Church and said, "Hey, we want to get married in the Catholic Church," they said, "Okay, well, for one, you can't live together for a year." And we looked at each other and we're like, well, "We already lived together, so we're screwed there."
Yep.
For two, because I've already been divorced and
It
I
has
was
to
already
be
been married.
annulled.
I had to send a letter to the Pope. I had to send a letter to one of the main churches, and then another to please, I apologize, and please forgive me for my sin that I've been divorced, remarried, blah blah blah. And the other thing is we had to give up. They were asking for both of us, so his was 10% and mine was 10% of our checks together to the church. And we both looked at each other and we're like, and my husband has an uncle he's a pastor. He came down and he's the one who married us. We're like, let me go ahead and call him. Can you please come down and marry us? Because we weren't going to 2 rents, then give up your pay. Like, that to me was like, wow. And
I
then write
mean-
all these letters.
Tiffy,
I feel
man.
that all religion is a money scheme.
Except for the flying spaghetti monster religion. Love that one.
Oh, I do too. I've done a
17.
story on that too.
How long it took to save 18 legally here, but okay. Yeah, but you're like betrothed
Yeah.
in Game of Thrones stock. You're betrothed to your
affianced.
your beloved. Have you had your blood? Then we are betrothed. I hereby decree we are betrothed. You child. What the fuck, man? Oh, that's another thing. Like I believe that all those things, like you have to be married or betrothed by the age of 11, and you have to. It's a power grab because we're watching Game of Thrones, but at the same time, there wasn't enough people in the world, and you needed people to be in your family. You need to make more people for your family to continue the family business of usually plowing the fields. You know what I'm saying? Like there needed to be hands on deck, so people needed to be made.
I mean, in the early days, I
and
guess
they would lose them, right?
Nobody
People would
cared.
die.
Yeah, nobody cared about if you were fucking betrothed or not. You fucked and you procreated. That's, I mean, if you go.
Is that how it happens?
Yeah, you fucked and you procreated.
Okay.
But I mean, in the early, there was not a religion. It's just like men put their seed wherever, and we're gonna populate the earth.
It's true.
Then men go, oh wait, I want to dominate. Sorry. Let's create this religion. So now, we have to, have these rules and parameters, not
Right.
just mankind is what I mean.
Yeah, the
now we
world
have
of men.
Yeah, parameters against it, and now we were judging good and evil and whatever, good against whatever, and then these religions have formed. So
Yeah, well, to keep us working, to keep us at bay.
Yeah,
But some
I
are
mean-
cooler than others, man. Like some are way cooler than others. If you explained to me Scientology, maybe you read it to me and told me like, hey, this is a possible religion, and you didn't tell me any of the backstory, I'd be like, that's the coolest one. Like,
I mean,
I don't want to be the zombie one. I want to be the one where
aliens come down, whatever.
Well, I'm actually going to read what Xenu is right now because we've been teasing people for an episode and a half. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead. You're gonna read what Xenu is.
Yeah. Big Xenu. This is what people pay $250,000 to $500,000 to do. And
Millions.
Right, millions to it also depends if you're a fucking Tom Cruise, you're paying
Celebrity.
millions, right? Much more. You don't have to do anything in your life. They wipe your ass. However, they're going to
Right.
charge you much more. So Wikipedia has them as Xenu. This is the proper pronunciation, right? It's a figure that searches Scientology, advanced technology. Scientology's secret advanced technology is sacred and esoteric teaching. According to the technology, and this is forbidden. This is what Leah Remini was saying, like you couldn't even say, right? Because you would get fucking, don't you say this outside the church. Now it's on Wikipedia. They're so mad. They're big mad.
Oh, they are big mad.
Oh, fuck. According to the technology, Xenu was the extraterrestrial ruler of a galactic confederacy who brought billions of his people to Earth, known as the Tikiak.
Tigiak, yeah. I think
Tigiak.
that's-
Tigiak. Okay. In DC-8, which is, I mean, this guy's obsessed with the Navy and shit. Like, he's like, this is literally out of a book that he wrote.
No, it's not even that. He went under anesthesia for a fucking dental
Right.
procedure
Exactly.
and came out and went,
Eureka!
Xenu.
Yeah. Xenu.
This is our God.
That's
No,
right,
he
yeah.
did.
That's
it was
it.
a fever dream.
That's the best thing I can think of when I was under nitrous was like, okay, Xenu. So in spacecraft 75 million years ago stacked them around volcanoes and killed them with hydrogen bombs. This is the official story, you guys. This is what you pay so much money to get to, and finally they open a briefcase and they show you that these events are known as a Scientology as Incident 2, and the traumatic memories associated with them as Wall of Fire or R6 implant. The narrative of Xenu is part of Scientology's teachings about extraterrestrial civilizations and alien interventions in earthly events, collectively described as the space opera by L. Ron Hubbard. So this is like, you can
I thought it
literally
was Star Wars.
press this button. Yeah, this is Star Wars. And of course, and
Look
it's
at
not.
his face. It looks like he's trying to take a dump.
It looks like his mouth is a butthole. His mouth is a straight up butthole. I'm gonna say it.
Yes, it is.
He has some butthole
He
mouth.
has shitty teeth too. If you watch the
Shar,
fucking
shar, 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 shar.
Well, and you know what the sad part is that there's people who've died because of this Xeno belief. Wasn't there's a couple people, there's a woman who passed away that they don't like to talk about, but and I think the family sued the Scientology because of it, because she passed away because they wouldn't give her any medical attention.
Well, I mean, even if we take it to the top level with John Travolta, his kid who had epilepsy, they kind of put it towards Scientology that they were not going to give him the medication that would help him. And when he had the seizure that, he probably... let's be real. My daughter has epilepsy, so he wasn't getting the proper medication, and he had a seizure enough where he either threw up and aspirated, or something else happened. But they were like, nope, we're gonna help him. It's science and whatever. But I mean that has been brought up into a lot of this too. They think because they didn't want him to seek medical attention, and they were going to just fix it with auditing.
I just wonder if John Travolta now feels guilty because of that and wants to get out.
I don't think he wants to get out.
Oh no, they do too much for him.
They
why
do.
Why would you that's like shooing away the people who stop doing a pedicure on me. Stop.
Yeah, I mean they absolutely are all Travolta all the time.
Fuck yeah. He's captured. So this kind of puts it together nicely. Hubbard wrote that Xenu was the ruler of a galactic confederacy 75 million years ago, which consisted of 26 stars and 76 planets, including Earth, which was then known as Tikiak. The planets were overpopulated, containing an average population of 178 billion. The Galactic Confederacy civilization was comparable to our own. What are the chances? With aliens walking around in clothes which looked remarkably like our clothes. What?
From the 1950s.
Oh, the time that he was in.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Where he came up with all this bullshit. So the only thing he could convey is 1950. If he was really science fiction, he would have actually I don't know,
made it like us right now.
Or he would have predicted some shit, or if he would have invented something, right? But no, it's
Right,
what are the chances? It's all Navy stuff and science fiction stuff. Crazy.
Only the shit he knew.
Wow, unreal. So
oh
that's
wait,
what Xenu
he knew Xenu. That's what it was. It's the shit.
Sea-Doo.
He knew Sea-Doos are fun, at least. Xenu's not fun. A Sea-Doo's super fun.
No, I mean he knew the shit that Xenu knew.
I say that. Xenu knew that shit that Xenu knew.
L. Ron Hubbard, he knew what
Yeah.
Xenu knew, and that's why he made it whatever.
Bars.
Whatever.
So, yeah.
I'm off the rails here.
I love it. I love that. So yeah, let's see this. So the next thing is that obviously these people are unhinged because, right? What do you guys know about them attacking other people? It's we're under attack now. Now we're on a list somewhere. You guys know that, right? We're on a list.
Oh, we are. I'm so excited for it.
1000%.
Come after me. Come after me.
Come at me, bro.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'll fight you.
So this is a person that so this is an ex-Scientologist that's getting harassed, and then this guy David Pakman's going to set it up. But now we're going into the being harassed part.
Yes.
There are three people that you'll see in the video harassing him here. There's the bald guy, who's Mark Yeager. He's a high ecclesiastical officer for the Mother Church of Scientology. The guy holding the camera that you'll see is Dave Bloomberg. He's a longtime Scientology executive strata member. And then you have the woman who's Jenny Linson DeVocht. She's a personal aide to David Miscavige. He is the self-proclaimed Pope of Scientology, accused of beating people, by the way, is David Miscavige. The woman is his personal aide. Check this out and listen very carefully to the use of the word suppressive here.
Works great, doesn't it? It makes you feel good. You can actually get your ethics in already. That would be the thing.
Stop committing suppressive acts. Full-time suppressive acts. Full-time. Unbelievable. Just end it. Go live a life. Why don't you get a life then? Just get a life. You've had zero effect.
Okay, we don't need to play the whole thing, but I've told my story of when my mom hired.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
they get into your face. They
Yep.
fucking they make you crazy. And they call you a suppressive person and they say like just fucking stop doing that, bro. Like why are you such a fucking dick? Like why are you being a dick, bro?
Agreed.
And they stalk you. So that's another thing that they do. One of many, many things, as well as that was Mike Rinder's whole fucking job was to be that guy who harassed. They always videotape you, like Jerome said. They make your life a living hell. They dox you, and then they make a see. Let me show you guys. They make a website called whatever your name is, suppressiveperson.com.
Yeah.
And here they make this. So Mike Rinder here. This is on.
Oh,
This is,
he's great. If you've heard his stories, he's so good.
so he
Him
left.
and Lee are great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not so much from them though. So Mike Rinder, this is right. This is a smear job.
What's the other guy? No, it was
Bath. What's his name? Bath.
Rathburn.
Marty
Yeah.
Rathburn.
They went after his wife, and
Yes.
she was not in Scientology, and
Yeah.
that's the one thing that stuck out to me. They would come up and they had a kid, like a baby and whatever, and they came after them. That one was the one that stuck out to me. That they were like, "Oh, we're gonna stalk you, but we're gonna go after the one you love the most."
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, plus she's
They have-
suppressive. Like every
Yeah,
night he goes to bed with somebody who says, "Should you be in that?" You know.
Right. Exactly.
So this is how they talk about you. If you remember, he was an executive. He was like the head of the office that, the head of the office that actually goes after people and makes your life a living hell. But this
Yeah,
is
wasn't he
not,
like head chief or something like that?
he was chief of OSA, which is the OSA, which
Yeah.
is like the defense arm. Like this, imagine security.
Yeah, the Office of Special Affairs.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
he was the high up there.
No, he was
he
he was
was
one of
the
he was at the board with.
leader.
He would get hit by Miscavige.
Yes.
Yeah. So
You know, and you know what's something I also saw is because they were talking about how Tom Cruise was not a very nice person.
Oh
He
hell,
was
no.
very like, you know, and I guess maybe because I just see like, I guess I always saw like Tom Cruise in his. I'm not very big into his movies.
To the danger zone.
Yeah, and the only reason why
we're in the same right hand. Sorry.
you know, but he wasn't a really nice person because there's people that talk like he talks about where Tom Cruise, like, I guess the people he worked for him would go to Mike and tell him, hey, you know, Tom Cruise hit me or whatever, and he would have to report it, like stuff like that. Like he's a very violent little man, like
Yes.
Napoleon. What is it? The Napoleon little.
Napoleon complex, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are the spokesperson for this fucking religion and they have based everything on you are the superhero of it, you are the, you know, I mean, he's in, you know, all these fucking movies.
He's
and
Scientology Jesus. Like
he
if
is
he goes away,
Scientology Jesus. He is.
like
Yeah,
I was talking to my wife about it, and she goes, "Yeah, they chose his
He's the
wives
chosen
for
one.
him. No, they chose his wives for him, and
They
they groom
did.
them, and they make sure that like they understand what they have to be. He's basically a breeding cow, and like
Mhm.
you know, so
Will he be the next one to take it over when this
No.
one passes?
No,
No,
he's
no, he
he's
won't
the
do that.
face of the religion, and Miscavige is the.
It's his best friend too. It's
yeah.
his best friend.
Yeah, but if he passes away,
No.
because he's who else who would step in, or
whoever,
does it go?
just
Whoever's
like,
under Miscavige.
yeah,
Yes.
just like he was, whoever's in the room, whoever fucking kisses his ass enough,
Whoever is there and kisses the ring before the dude dies is
exactly,
gonna be it.
or takes it, or cuts the ring finger off. So remember
Right.
that part. So
Exactly.
keep that in mind. How you feel about Mike Rinder? How awesome you said, Rose? Right? Like he's awesome, and he came in, right. He with Leah Remini, he makes a great team and everything, right? So this is what Scientology says about him. Mike Rinder has been waging a campaign of false reports and harassment against the Church of Scientology and its leadership, claiming its authority, quote unquote, as a former church executive, quote unquote, which he was. They're making that seem like he wasn't. Rinder's narrative is not just twisted, but a bald-faced lie. Rinder was removed by the Church of Scientology, in total disgrace by the church's ecclesiastical leader, stripped of any authority, and ultimately expelled for gross malfeasance. Actual hard facts crime. Okay, so now they're saying that he was expelled because of malfeasance. Tellingly, after being sacked in the church, Rinder owned up to being a serial liar, even lying about lying, who had a criminal moral code, quote unquote, and quote unquote illegal things, and what he could get away with. He never changed. Rinder was a serial liar and harasser, and his motivation is vengeance. He has devised a criminal scheme and frivolous litigation to harass the church's leader and try to extort the church for millions, failing each time. He feeds willful false reports of authorities and media to incite bigotry and hate. He betrayed his own family and assaulted his wife, injuring her for life. True to a criminal moral code, Rinder also repeatedly changed his personal narrative according to who pays, following the facts of Mike Rinder and what he has done. So it goes on to kind of lay out what he has done in their response. So well, I don't know. That kind of changes things in me too. I was like, oh shit, these people are going against, but there's got to be another side of the story. Everybody's a hero of their own story, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, and they're always going to paint a different picture because it's against,
I mean, but the facts are facts. If he really did assault his wife, that changes everything I feel about him, right? Does it change it for you?
It depends. It depends on when he did it, because if he did it during Scientology, okay, was that to prove a point because of Scientology, or was it after?
That don't matter.
But remember, Scientology.
If I hit you, I hit you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but so did Tom Cruise. Does that change your ways of thinking about Tom Cruise hitting a woman?
Yeah, he's kind of a scumbag. I really like Top Gun and Top Gun 2. I really like those movies, so I think I can compartmentalize that.
But would that change? Okay, but these are facts. Supposedly, he's hit women that worked for him.
Fucker.
So now, does that change your way of not supporting his movies, not going to watch it, not going to do any of that?
I can think he's a dickhead, but also I don't watch all of his movies. Like I didn't see Mission Impossible and shit, so I kind of see what I.
Oh, you watched one and watched another.
I did.
What's the difference?
I didn't pay for it though. How about that?
I mean,
I pirated it, so I'm really stealing from his pocket.
I think we can liken it to any of the people who have been shot down by the Me Too movement. I mean, there are some actors that were like, it's fine. We'll give them a pass. And there's others who are like, hard pass. You know what I mean?
You know who I really love? I'm sorry to tell you this. I really love as an actor, Kevin Spacey.
Me too.
Can you?
And I do too.
Are you going to put aside what he's done? That's none of my business. It's none of my business.
Does it mean his talent isn't good?
Litigate, get in trouble if that's what the courts are for. I'm a consumer. I'm neither a judge nor an executioner. So and if you decide that this is something that you want to draw a line in the sand, that's fine. But I don't really have to support.
Right. But let's say, okay, but if you're so brainwashed into the Scientology that let's say this is a true allegation, right? We don't know if it's true or false. I don't know. That Mike has done this to his wife because he believes so much, and now that he's out and he feels bad because of what he did. Would that change your thought about him?
Does he?
But that's the thing. I don't know. I didn't know about this allegation. So does that change your thought of when he was in to when he's out? Like now he's like, you know what? I feel bad because of the way I was so brainwashed in there. This is what I had to do. I feel bad for the shit that I've done to people or what I've done. Does that change your thought and your procedure of how you think about
if he apologizes and he's sure. So
do I think people can change? Sure.
Doing something for the church. Let's separate this. Doing something for the church and defending it and saying, fuck you, how dare you defame my church, I'm a wholehearted follower, is much different than hitting my wife. There's a huge chasm between that, because no matter what, I hit my wife in the name of the church, in the name of myself, in the name of God, whatever you want to, whatever it is, I hit my wife at the end of the day. And then I don't think there's any religion that would make me hit my wife, right? Even if I was out of it, I'm still a wife beater. So that does change. In my opinion, it does. It does. You can repent and say, of course you can say, if you never ever do it again, that would take, after that one hit, it would take a lifetime of proving that you don't hit for me to believe you don't hit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Right. But when you're so brainwashed into something, it's the same thing when it comes down to the victim. The victim is so, you know what, he's going to change, and they go back and they go back
Right.
because they want to believe. And it's the same thing. What if they're so into the religion
That's fine.
and
So,
Again,
Rose,
no religion will ever make me hit a woman. Ever.
Rose, that's kind of funny because we were talking about Gypsy Rose a few weeks ago.
Mhm.
And you're like, I can't believe she just didn't know. And I feel like you were on the side of, I think she knew and she was in on it. Yet now you're going, he's in the religion and this is why he hid. You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah.
I find it funny that you're kind of on both sides of this.
I like it. I like this.
Yeah,
I
no,
like
I
that
do
she's
too.
straddling it.
I know.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm
straddler.
looking at
3
it as
weeks
like,
ago, she goes, this chick was brought up and why her mom, and I can't believe she wasn't in on the con. Of course she was, but she was afraid her mom was gonna fucking hit her and whatever. She was brought up from birth, and now you're like, this guy, he be his wife, but maybe it's okay because it's, you know what I mean.
I'm not saying it's okay.
No,
I'm
no,
not saying
maybe
it's okay.
not. Maybe it's okay, but he was brainwashed to the point where he was told to hit his wife, and that makes it okay for him. You know what I mean? We can
No, I'm not saying it's okay. What I'm saying is, does
I
that
understand.
change your mind if
This is
he
great.
says, you know what,
see what
I'm
I'm saying, though.
sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I'm saying, what if he says now, look, I know it was wrong. I did something very wrong. I feel
Said
guilty
every
for
man
it.
who hit a woman ever.
Then
Right.
then there's the second part of that.
No.
Then actually implementing it and never doing it. 'Cause
Yes.
Up until that moment,
And
until that moment, until either this relationship is over or I die, I'm gonna forever be making up for the fact that
Make
I did
amends.
it.
Yes.
And you're always gonna think
does he feel guilty? Like,
there's
the thing
never
is,
gonna
does
be
he
a
really feel
time
guilty?
where we fight.
We'll never know.
There's never gonna be a time where we fight that you don't think I'm gonna hit you for the rest of your life.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've been in
'Cause
an
I've hit
abusive
you.
relationship. I
You know
know
what I'm
that.
saying? So
So
that's like an abusive dog. You're like, hey, I just want to pet you this time. Well, bitch, you hit me before, you know? So like,
Yeah.
could you imagine being, I can't. And I'm so sorry for you guys that have been, I know you guys have both been through it.
Yeah.
However, in this context, you're always going to be a wife beater no matter what religion told you. It's like, oh man, I'm so sorry. I was really into like Buddhism that day or whatever. So I had to hit you. Like, you
But
know what I mean?
I'm just wondering,
Like,
like I said, I've never seen this. I haven't heard, this is the first time I'm hearing about this allegation of it, of him hitting his wife. I've never heard him spoke about it. I've never heard, but I mean, there could be somewhere along the line. There's so much info.
Yeah.
My question to him would be like, okay, so would you stop supporting him like you would stop supporting Tom Cruise? Because Tom Cruise, there's allegations of like that out there about him hitting his employees. Would be that it, like, I'm not into his movies. I just don't like the guy personally. I don't. I just think he's
I love Jerry
if you don't like Top Gun and Top Gun 2, you can get
And
the
Top
fuck out
Gun,
of
yeah,
America.
they are both.
You can
I
get
know,
the
those are
fuck
great.
out of
I'm gonna tell you-
America.
They're gonna do a
I'm
third.
gonna
Do
tell
you
you.
hear that?
I know they're gonna kick me out. I haven't seen Top Gun 2, and it was filmed in my town, and he was all over here.
They had a whole Star Wars
So
theme where they're going
awesome.
for the
The Dark Star was so. I just saw it the other day. I saw it
I'm just
again
not into it.
in the middle of the night. I got super baked and I watched just the fight scene. So I saw the 2-hour movie in like 40 minutes.
Yes.
Because I would fast forward through Jennifer Connelly and all the blah, 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 right up until I saw a plane, and I'd be like, "Fuck yeah!" And then, you know,
it's totally fucking.
But would you stop
know, the
supporting
begin-
it? I mean,
No,
would that
I'm
be
not.
the cutoff? Okay.
no. Are you still gonna watch like I don't know, like Danny Masterson movies, like who happens to be a Scientologist and a fucking chick
Dude.
beater? You know what I mean?
Did you see that they
there's
moved him
another
into a
one.
maximum security prison because they thought he was a flight risk?
For
The
sure.
force
Well,
sensitive-
and that's another thing that now you have this case that's now up where he's raped these 2 women, right? And everything
Great.
Scientology did to hide it. Oops, yeah, the R word.
Great.
Now where Scientology is trying to hide it for all these, they try to, make it non-public, and now that it is public, now do you stop watching his films, or do you take
That's
those out?
all personal preference. It has to be, and that's why I believe that a certain amount of like people crying cancel culture
That's
also like are misconstruing it with like, I don't have to watch your shit anymore. So that's you're allowed to say whatever you want. It's also the reaction of whoever you're saying it to. Those people have the right to either decide, I don't want to fuck with you no more, or I do, or I really like that. You know what I mean? And there's cancel culture, there's boycott, and like a personal boycott where it's like, you know what? I don't want to wear Nikes. I don't like what they do. You know, like
Right.
I don't feel.
But do you differentiate the acting part versus the personal part?
I think you'll live a very miserable life if you start dissecting like I know that there's people in this world who won't see a Robert De Niro movie because he's a hardcore lefty and he hates Trump. You know,
Well,
are
I
you
mean,
really
it's
not
like
going
R.
to ever
Kelly.
watch? You're never going to watch that. You're never going to listen to fucking drip, 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 drop, drop.
Well, I mean, look at R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Do I like R. Kelly's music? Yes, I have danced to it in the club. Do I condone what he's done? No.
Do you want to litigate Michael Jackson? I mean, every time you hear, we don't know what he did.
He's a genius.
He's a genius that had a motherfucking Ferris wheel in his backyard. If you don't want bees, don't put out the honey.
But that's where the question
You know what
comes
I'm
in.
I guess,
You know,
I
it's-
mean, that's
it
kind of
comes
the
the same
thought. Do I like the Cosby Show? Sure, I grew up with it. But do I
yeah.
condone what Cosby did? No.
Right. So
I
you
think
can't.
he's a fucking creep and he should still be in jail, but he's not. I mean, that's the point. I
Right.
mean, we can like the work of the person, but can
And
not
that's my
condone
point.
what they do.
And that's your personal
Yeah.
opinion to see like what's the line, because there's once again, it's not, nothing's ever black and white. What's the line? I'm willing to overlook that Ray Lewis from the Baltimore Ravens killed a man.
Right.
I'm willing
Most
to
people
overlook
are.
that Dante Stallworth from the Patriots ran over a guy on Miami Beach and killed him when he was drunk at 6 a.m.
Mhm.
I'm willing to
So
overlook
would you
that
now look at Mike different? Would you
Yeah.
look at Mike differently
now. No,
now that he's trying to do
Hold on,
something
hold on,
good?
hold
Would
on.
you look at him?
Hold on. I don't think he hit his wife because he was in Scientology.
that's the key. You hit
That's-
your wife because you're a pussy. You don't hit your wife because you're a Scientologist.
That's
You know what I mean?
exactly it. I don't think that's the thing. I mean, now that he's come out and be like, "Oh, I'm against Scientology, make me good again." I think that's
Oh, make me feel good.
you know what I mean? I think he's like, "Oh, I've atoned for everything. I'm against it." But I think inherently at his core, he's probably a shitty dude that fucking hits women, and he found a fucking religion that supported what he did. Now,
Well, he went to work and got hit.
I
So what are you
Yeah.
gonna do when you get home?
Yeah,
And I'm not saying it was every time, but like
But-
just once. You just once to fuck up is all it takes to not be a man anymore. And then my point is, no matter what made you hit a woman, you are now a wife beater. And
Yeah.
no Jesus Christ, no Dalai Lama, no Vishnu, no Olympus, Zeus, whatever you believe in, none of those gods could ever make me hit a woman because they don't have to live in my shoes. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, great, I can repent to them, but at the same time, I have to continue to live here as a person that has to build back trust with a woman I hit. If you care about those things, if not, go about your day. You know what I mean? Like, you have to also have guilt and a moral compass.
There's kind of a difference. The people we're talking about have a career that we've watched on cinema and the big screen. This guy, he's been in Scientology his whole life. He's just a fucking douche. I mean, he likes to beat people up, and including his wife.
And he may have moved to this, is what I want to kind of
Yeah.
piggyback on what you're saying. He may have moved to this, but he still brought the authoritarian ways of doing things from Scientology to this new thing. And that's why I asked the religion question in the beginning, because I was like, this can also be religion. Anti-religion is also a religion. And that's I wanted to
I
explore
just
that.
wish you would talk about this more on about him, because I like I said, this is the first time me hearing it. I wish
That's not good for anybody. That's not good for nobody.
I wish I knew, right? But I wish I knew about it, because it does change a little bit of the points of view. What is he trying to do something good, or is this just all a publicity?
And is there a cover
stunt?
up? And is there a cover up by the people now who are doing the anti, like Aaron Smith Levin, who we just saw, Leah Remini, who we just saw? All these people, Marty Rathburn, all these people are on the side of anti. That is now a religion. And are those people, as soon as that, before it was a bunch of people doing stuff. Now it's a conglomerate of people getting together doing stuff anti. You know what that breeds?
That's a
People
religion.
people covering up for people. Because now you're in a club. So now you get to, like, if I fuck up, bro, like, don't tell people I fucked up, right? Sam, Rose, like, when we go to the podcast federation, like, you don't tell them about my indiscretions, my graping. you know, and people will be like, okay,
Now, do
no,
these?
of
But
course
here's the
not.
thing. Now, do these people know? And how come it hasn't brought up in a podcast where they're sitting down and talking to him? Hey, this is what is on the Scientology page about you. What? Can you explain this to
Because
us?
that's a
Like
hard
what?
question to answer. If he has no good response, he's never going to sit down with somebody who's a podcast host that's going to ask
No,
those questions.
never.
It's always going to
But
be Leah
we're all
Remini,
going to
the
lay it
people in
on
your
the
group.
table. If you're going to lay everything out on the table, I want it all laid out. You know what I mean? All
No.
decks out. Like I don't want to bits and pieces. What's convenient for you to hear.
Oh my
I want to
God.
hear it all.
That's called a utopia, where our politicians tell us the truth, where people that we hold in high regard. It's not. This isn't the first time that somebody comes out and is the opposition of something horrible that we don't like, and then that person gains from being opposed to the original thing. It's called grifting, right?
Mhm.
Like you can, I don't know if believe what you want about Candace Owens, but she's done a niche for herself talking about black people to white people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like that's her like niche, right? You can always defect from something and go like, oof, I got out of there. Now let me tell my story, write a book, start a channel, charge to go on podcast, but you're never going to go somewhere where like he's never going to be challenged. You know what I mean? Plus he has stage 4 esophageal cancer. So he does very
Yeah, but I
Ridiculous.
understand that. But you know what? I want to know if you're going to come out here proving facts onto something else. I want everything out. Like
Yeah.
I want to know everything because that's going to make my decision
Sure,
on
me too.
what to believe out of your mouth or what not to believe.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Leah's been out there and she's put it all out on the table, like da da da, A, B, C, and D.
You don't
Here
think
it
she has
is.
anything she's hiding?
I don't know. I don't know. From
I
what
don't know.
I
I don't know
see,
either. Doesn't it make
But-
you think we didn't know anything about Mike Render? Now we're kind of like everybody has something. Nothing is ever black and white, is my
Well,
thing.
one of the things that I've noticed from Leah Remini is that she's like, you know what? I'm not perfect. However, I've been, told this and whatever. And when I was in Scientology, I believed that, I was, saving the world. And that's that's what Scientology does. So, I mean, she's always been like, you know what? I probably am not the perfect person. You know what I mean?
Of course not.
but she's been honest and said that.
That's what
She's
I'm
been
saying.
honest.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say is she's been pretty forthcoming in all of that and be like, yeah, I wasn't the best person. I was indoctrinated. I did, follow the line for a long time. But I mean, she never abused her kid. You know what I mean? It's not come out that that had
And
happened.
he lost his kids. And he lost his kids in the process too. So there's that. But remember, he is he was the
It's very
highest. He was
militant,
the highest
though.
level of pit bull, and then you're
Right.
out of that. That's blood doesn't leave you. You're still a
No.
pit bull now on the other side, and then you start forming your team, and then that team you fuck up, or things come up from the past, and then it's insulated because those people aren't going to say anything.
But
And
here's the thing,
then the second you do, Aaron Smith Levin gets kicked out.
But you've got Joe, you've got all these podcasters, right? That are very controversy. They like to push the buttons. Why haven't they said this? Why haven't they mentioned this? Because
no one is.
Okay, so
I haven't heard it. So like I said, well, how come nobody's pushing this issue? Because that changes a lot that comes out of his mouth.
You would have never thought to go onto Scientology to see what they think about Mike Render. We're just consuming things that are anti-Scientology because we think it's weird and stupid, right? So if we think it's weird and stupid, we are going to be more inclined to ask those questions to get those answers because we think it's weird and stupid, and we can ask that question. It's very hard for them to answer that question.
Well, let's be
right?
real. Anybody in Scientology, they don't get the internet we get.
No.
It's very much like China, where it's very much suppressed, and they see what they are told to see, so they aren't able to have that inquiring mind of let me go find out for myself. And when they go find out for themselves, they get what the rhetoric is coming back at them, what Scientology is saying or what China is saying. You know what I mean? That's kind of the crux of it. I mean, they're in a bubble, of Scientology, because that's a thing.
That is a thing.
I mean,
That is a
I
thing.
don't know why I keep doing
So,
this, but
let's read
It's
this.
like my bubble.
Let's read this really quick so we
The
can move
same
on a
thing.
little bit.
yeah.
So
cheers, guys.
cheers. Yeah. We'll
Oh, I
get back
did
to
mine
that. Let
already.
me see
Sorry.
you. Better pour another one.
Okay, I'll pour another one.
Hurry up and pour another one.
Jesus.
I mean, you're still gonna still not gonna go back and watch the show again, how? No. Yeah.
All right, poured another one. Let's cheers.
All right, cheers.
Cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
My secret is that I accidentally drank mine too, and that's my so
See?
we're on par. So it says here, ooh, where are we at? Rumspringa. That was before. Ooh, Mike Rinder. Oh, here it is. Okay. So Kathy Bernardini, this is the loyal wife of Mike Rinder, tossed aside for more than 30 years of marriage because he left the Church of Scientology, nor would his 4 children go without him. With him, I believe all 4 of them stayed. What we're going to see here, this is going to correct me, but remember, this is through the eyes of Scientology. This is whoismikerinder.org.
This is his slander page.
Right. Kathy Bernardini just wanted to let her former husband, Mike Rinder, know about the dire health of their son, Ben. She assumed wrongly, as it turns out, that he actually cared about his son. Stricken with cancer near his eye, Ben was fighting for his life and had been told by his doctors that he might be dead in 5 years if the intense regimen of treatments proved unsuccessful. Rinder had not seen Kathy, Ben, or their daughter, Taryn, since he walked out on them in 2007 without saying a word, disconnecting during a business trip to London. After 30 years of marriage, Rinder didn't even have the guts to call or to tell Kathy or his children himself. Instead, he emailed a mutual friend to break the news to him. 2 years later, you found out that he was having a relationship with a woman who's their daughter's age. Remarkably, Mike Rinder is now trying to make a buck, passing himself off as a caring father who's been prevented by the church from seeing their children he disconnected from. All of this being orchestrated by a fellow anti-Scientologist, Leah Remini, who is using Rinder, a violent wife abuser, as a consultant in her efforts to make a buck with cheesy reality TV shows. Let's see. The final. Here's a quote. Quote: "The fact that Mike Rinder is being a consultant for Leah doing a show on disconnection is totally absurd because Mike Rinder himself deserted his own family," notes Kathy. Now he's acting as some expert on families when he's the biggest family buster upper I've ever experienced.
Yeah, I mean, because that rings true.
But did he really desert his family because he left Scientology?
Yes.
Yeah. He had to because they actually kind of deserted them.
There's no way of, I mean, let's say that it's going to be it's hard to wrap your mind around like these. It's a ridiculous concept.
It's like being excommunicated from
divorce your family.
The Christian religion, right? Excommunication.
But you see that, you see the light. You see the light. You all believe something. Your whole family, you and all your kids believe something, and then you're like, "Fuck, this is a crazy trap. That's also a cult." And then you start backing away from it, and you see in its entirety like what you believe, and you're like, "This is so stupid." Imagine it's harder to convince someone that they've been fooled than to fool them.
Right.
Right. You can fool a person easy, but to unfool them or tell them, "Hey, you've been fooled," and they believe you is extremely hard. So if that doesn't happen, what are you going to do, Rose? Are you going to stick around with your family and be something that's crazy, or are you going to go? That's a bitch. That's a bitch.
Hard.
That's a fucking question.
Hard because it's like, yeah, you would want your family to go with you, but at the same time, like if you can't mentally, you're going insane. Like what? You're gonna go insane inside or out. Like what? I don't know.
You've just been rendered.
If you're told you're wrong, but you believe you're right, which one are you going to dig into?
And who's right? Nobody even knows who's right. This is all the
No, none of us are right.
Xenu could be real. All of this could be real.
I doubt, but yes.
A billion years. And
the benefit of the doubt.
I mean, in my line of duty, in my work, when you speak with somebody and they've made a decision, and you think that decision was wrong, you have to not coerce them, but gently lead them to the
massage them to the truth.
Yes, I mean, but if you go, "You're fucking wrong," and come at them, and they're like, "Nope, I'm gonna."
Yeah, it's like,
I'm gonna dig my heels in, and I'm fucking right, and I'm gonna fucking go off this path of whatever it is. So, I mean, I think that's how it is in anything, and
but that goes down the road.
That
goes down the rabbit hole of like deprogramming too, and then who's right to deprogram who? You know what I'm saying? there are so many
It's
people in this
hard.
world that would like. I'm sure there's a huge swath of Americans that'd be like, I want to deprogram either side. I wish I can get my hands on those people so I can like what does that look like? An internment camp? What are we doing here? You know? And then maybe your cult is real. Maybe your cult is real.
How do we know that?
And I'm trying to deprogram you from your cult. Maybe you think my God or my lack of God is real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Who's right? That's why everybody has to
None
back
of
the
us
fuck
ever
off
know.
and let people live their life. Also, you know,
I agree.
Yeah.
We don't know.
You know,
We don't know.
People walk around like we fucking know.
Believe what you want and whatever.
Here we go.
As long as you're happy and you're safe and there's nothing wrong, believe whatever
Mike
you want.
Rinder's ex-wife, and this will be the last of it because I know this like kind of bums us out to be wrong and like think about Mike Rinder
I'm
and
like,
Leah Remini badly.
I know.
But I wanted to ambush you like this because I like those real reactions. Kathy recalled he came straight up to me and he grabbed me by my arms in a crisscross vice and started pulling and pushing my arms down, and he was pulling my bones out of the socket. I could hear my bones creaking as I would start
speaks
screaming
like
for
that?
him. I know, right? Like, what are you, fucking Edgar Allan Poe?
I know.
But
He's
my
pulling my
bones-
bones out of
yeah.
me.
Nevermore. I could hear my bones creaking, and I would screaming for him as to let go. Let go. As soon as I started screaming for him to let go, he did it harder, jerk me down tight. Is this going to be like a? Are they gonna,
This
are they gonna
sounds
fuck?
very erotic.
Are they going to fuck?
Very erotic.
My,
I mean,
my womanhood clammed up. His his hands and arms. His hands are far bigger than mine, and with a lot of force, he yanked my shoulder. I was about to come. No, he collarbone and whatever else. He had keys in his hand and by his thumb and was pressing my right arm down. Actually, put a hole in my arm. When he moved his arm away, he ripped it good. Anyway,
it's real good.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's I'm like
So this is
abuse porn.
That is a Scientology website, though, right?
That is the Scientology website.
Okay. Do we
who
have
who is MikeRinder.com, which
Okay.
if you're watching on Midnight Media, I'm gonna put that in the description so you guys want to see.
Do we have any other disputing evidence to that slander website? Because that's what
And,
they
and that's
do.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is this something?
Has she come out other than from that website?
You want to see Mike Rinder defend himself?
No, I mean, I guess what I mean is has she?
I guess,
said
yeah.
I mean, they could have put anything on that website saying it was her. Has she come out and said, no, that wasn't him?
She's a hardcore Scientologist. This
She
is
still
her.
is.
Yeah.
This is her. That's why
And
he
remember,
lost her family.
Scientology used to write this stuff for people just
Yeah.
to silence. Like they would make you start believing.
Well,
things
I
that
guess that's what
happened
I'm
that
saying.
wasn't.
Is there anything refuting that?
Oh my God! Look at this. This is gross.
What's gross?
That's why I'm like
what he's like. As soon as
I
I
still
Googled
kind of
this,
believe that he did it, and I don't
I
mean
mean,
to be
I'm not
like that
disputing.
because
Well, that
ahead.
wasn't that part of his job. Like I'd
look at
like to
that.
believe he didn't
When
do
you
it, but you
Google
know
it,
what?
when you Google it, it says Mike Rinder abuses family,
Yeah,
assaulted.
but was that
Peter's
not
wife.
Scientology putting that up? What does Wikipedia say about it?
This is Google. Let's see. Mike Rinder. Let's go to
I
Wikipedia.
Okay,
I
the
want to
first one was
believe.
who is Mike Rinder, which could have been a Scientology website. I guess that's what I'm saying.
He joined the Sea Org. Oh, the motherfucker. Oh, dude. Of course. At 18, he joined the Sea Org.
Okay, so he was totally indoctrinated.
Of course.
Indoctrinated into
Bro, to
it.
get to the highest levels, you have to be tight. You have to.
And
let's
if he's
see.
gonna beat other people, he's gonna beat his wife. I get it. Okay,
Yeah,
Joined.
He's a-
I don't.
he's a
I
jerk.
want to believe he didn't, but at the same time, I'm like,
he totally
you
fucking
know what?
did.
That was
He
his
joined
job.
in 1978, which is a year before all of us were born.
Yeah.
But that was part
It's
of his
true.
job. Like his job wasn't that part of his job to shut
It
up people?
was.
He joined the Sea Org and worked under
Oh.
Hubbard. Worked directly under Hubbard on the ship Apollo in '73. He joined the CMO
Jesus.
in '78,
he's-
later becoming the
he's
church's
way older
international
than we are.
spoke. Yeah, Rinder left the church in 2007 and has since spoken
Damn,
out.
he looks good for his age. I'm sorry, but he really
Let's see. Notable members.
He's Australian. That's probably why. I don't know. Things
Goddamn
work
Australian
backwards down
people.
there. It works backwards.
Jason, wife of leader, Sharon.
No,
don't
I
see
mean, you're right.
allegations.
He's,
I want to believe that he
And
did
I'm not.
it.
I'm not saying that he did or didn't. However, the
I don't
information.
know. Part of me wants to think he did. I don't know
I mean, a
why.
part of me
Sure.
says he did, but a part of me a part of me says, you know what, he did do it, but a part of me wants to believe he didn't do it, and this is all Scientology making his
Because you
wife
want a
look
champion.
good.
You want very wag the dog. Yeah, like
You know,
fucking Southern
That's
Hubs
true.
cracking up at something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about the sniffling, guys. I'm a little at this time of year. I
Same.
get in Las Vegas. I get some like
Oh, it's too cold.
as soon as I go to bed, close nostril, open nostril, and then they
It's
switch.
too dry.
Yeah.
You'll never make it in Nebraska.
Yeah. So that's what's
One
going on.
day.
Let's talk about. Let's go here.
So
right.
that's where
So
I'm at.
let's talk about.
He didn't do it, but
let's
a
talk
part
ab-
of me says, you know what, this was his part of his job. So I don't know.
couple
All
things
right.
to watch on Mike Render, and this obviously could be a. We're not saying that this is a two-parter and that's it. You know, there could be
We
many
could
more
do
on
it in
this.
other parts.
Sure, we're
Little
gonna
twist.
do a couple things in between, but keep an eye on this.
Yeah, we can
you
come
know,
back to it.
for sure. So let's see. So this is Mike Render in a nutshell. Let me know if you guys can hear it.
The Church of Scientology mastermind, the mouthpiece for the cult's
No. Yes.
Yes, we can hear.
global
Yeah.
operations, one of the inner circle. But now he's left and speaking for the first time about how the church works. It's explosive stuff, and the power brokers of Scientology want to silence him. Tonight, Brian Seymour continues his investigation with this world-exclusive report.
Okay, here's where it gets really weird.
Oh, I know he's evil.
He's definitely evil.
This gentleman's been hired by a law firm acting for Scientology to film these people. Is that okay?
No, it's not.
Now listen to me! You are not there at the beginning of that interview!
I've certainly made clear to John Sweeney and the people at the BBC and Panorama what really happened.
We want you to know who we are and what we stand for.
How close is he with Tom Cruise?
Extremely close.
How close?
Unnaturally extremely close.
They put
Mike
it
Rinder
in each
is
other's
Australian.
butts.
He was born in Melbourne and grew up in Adelaide, just 2 doors down from cricket greats the Chappell brothers. After more than 3 decades at the top of Scientology International, he left in 2007. This is his first broadcast interview.
No, I'm not stopping here. You listen to me for a second.
Remember this screaming match between Scientologist Tommy Davis and BBC reporter John Sweeney?
That's another guy, Tommy Davis, who's like the pit bull. Aside from him,
Right.
But they used to get into these screaming matches, and people just like as soon as cell phones happened, like 2007 to 2011, it was like a big cell phone camera boom. So around
Yeah,
that
it
time,
was.
people were just like all fucking, you know,
Mhm.
like say it in my face, you know. But
Yeah. I'm gonna be
that's-
honest.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna be honest. If Leah's always been upfront, you know what? I've done stupid shit. I'm gonna admit I'm not perfect. She's always said that from day one. She's never, you know what? This is who I am, right?
Mhm.
If now Mike were to come out with these allegations, I'd look at this whole thing completely different.
That was
Because
the idea.
it wouldn't be the person that I was thinking he was. Like, I know this is what his job was. So I don't like hidden shit. You know what I mean? Be upfront and say, you know what? I fucked up.
No, because you have it ingrained in your blood to be a high level executive in something, and there's always a club.
Well, you
know,
also don't want to be wrong, right?
I'm going back to the Sea Org. Sorry, guys. I'm going
Go
back.
back. Come on,
I gotta go back.
another billion years.
I gotta go back. I'm sorry, guys. I just not smart enough for this yet. I gotta go back.
I think he has something ingrained in him that he goes, I did a job. I was in this organization. I did my fucking job. You know, whatever it is. Then I came out of this job and I'm like, nope. But I'm still not going to admit that this was wrong because I can't be wrong.
Right. Well, you lose credibility if you're wrong. Then
Right.
you could be wrong about being anti-Scientology too.
Agreed.
So everybody needs
If he were to
to.
say, if he were to said from day one, hey, you know what? I've done a lot of bad things. One of them was I hit my wife. I was completely wrong.
He'll never say that.
Then you know what? I would look at him different. But if you don't
So you
say
want him to
that,
go to
you don't-
jail? Because if you did that, you'd probably get arrested if you wanted to press charges, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
She's not going to press charges though, because it fucking brings
You know
everything
what it is?
into Scientology.
well,
But
it
if
would
that's
make it
what he
would
did, you
destroy
gotta
it would
pay your
destroy
crime.
him. It would destroy him.
You got to pay your crime. Everybody else does.
But is it so? Aaron Smith Levin, the guy we saw, the bald guy, right earlier, he is also kind of in this sphere because he was on the board of the Aftermath Foundation, and he was also kind of covering up, apparently. So now you have these board member of people who are love like mind, just like Scientologists. There's a bunch of people in a boardroom making decisions on what the best thing is for them.
Right.
And the best thing is for them is for nobody to lose credibility, everyone to be on the up and up, whatever lie that means, and then sell this, get people riled up for clicks and videos, hating on the Church of Scientology. So on the other side, if you think about what's happening, you just put yourself in their shoes and mirror match it. They're on the other side going, fuck, these non-Scientologists or suppressive people are attacking us. We have to go on the offensive. So that's just like a big outside look of it. You know what I mean?
I hate when my bubbles burst. I really hate when my bubbles burst. I don't like it. I don't like my little bubble being burst. I really don't. You know what?
You broke a cherry.
Yes. Let me go back to my little bubble.
We should
We
do that
all
every,
have to be free
every
thinking and think of
every time we go down these rabbit holes and you get to the bottom and you should let us know when your bubble bursts so we can fucking
Yes. My bubble has just been burst right now.
I have to get a bursting sound like
I don't know how. There are things on Restream that we use. We could do this, and it puts up balloons, or this, and it puts up hearts and that. But I don't know how. See, I put up hearts. I don't know how we make the bubble burst.
Yeah, my
find
bubble's been burst, and I don't like it.
I don't know.
I'll find that fucking sound drop.
That's it.
Yes.
I
Don't
just
you
wish I
curse
had
on
I
here.
had a thing. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, my bubble's been burst right now, and I'm feeling kind of a certain way that I'm just like going, fuck. The person you thought that was, and then you see this, but then you start going, then my head starts going like 100 miles per hour because I'm like going, okay, is the Scientology making up the shit? Is the wife being coached to say this shit from Scientology?
Of course she is.
And is it true or is it not true? Like a big part of me wants to say it's not true. Like it's not true because of the way he speaks, the way he acts, the way he talks, the way he says things, right? But then another part of me goes, well, this is what he did for a fucking living.
Hold on.
What planet are you living on?
Exactly right.
The reason I think it's true is because of the way he speaks, the way he acts, the way he does things. Even if he is not with Scientology now, the way he does these things, I feel like that. I don't know, from past experiences, and I think you, Rose, would agree. We've probably been with somebody like that.
Yeah.
Trust no man.
Where we don't want to believe it. That we want to believe that they're going to change. We want to believe that this never happened. We want to,
Sociopaths are usually very polished. Like psychopathic and sociopathic people are very articulate and polished, and they'll make you see their way and persuasive, and that's why they're fucking crazy, because they can make you think something is not even real when it's real.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, we lost sound. We've lost sound with Sam.
Oh, Sam. What happened?
What happened there?
What happened?
Somehow I hit.
There you are.
How I hit the fucking button.
The little red button.
I didn't even. I didn't even touch my mouse.
Scientology.
That's what she said.
Scientology's taking over your button.
We are being censored by Scientology.
Big Scientology is censoring us. So
Yes.
Last video. So
Yes.
we can take a quick
Yes.
look at this and see what they do, and then we'll kind of wrap up. What do you
Wrap
guys
it
think?
up. Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
You're doing, but you're getting paid to do it, and you're going to do
I know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm doing it.
We all know who this is. Less known is his best friend, who happens to be the leader of Scientology.
He's the equivalent of the Pope in Scientology. He's the leader. He's the absolute authority.
That's correct. He likes to call himself the equivalent of the Pope.
Unlike the Pope, who reigns over his faithful through a shared belief of divine providence, Rinda claims Scientology's leader, David Miscavige, uses fear and brutality to control.
How often would
Question real quick. What were those little things on the side of that? So if you go back a little bit, what were those little things?
What
Those
little
means are those little symbols? Do they mean something? And no, further up where you saw let's see, right? Where he talks
Upcoming.
where he's it's like right where it says Scientology Church and then shows
there,
like little
like
flags
the-
on the side. Those little symbols. Those
Oh,
right there.
that
Right there.
is
What
all
what
Xenu.
are
This
those?
is the symbol of Scientology, and then fuck if I know some crazy symbolism here.
That's the
And
Illuminati.
are
What's
they in
the
Puerto
flag?
Rico? It's Puerto
That's what
Rico.
I'm saying,
No,
I
that's
was like,
Cuba.
what's the flag?
Is that Cuba? Is that my
I
home?
don't
Might be.
Hey.
To all the Cuban
Hey, is there
Scientologists,
something
I
you
just want to say,
is there something you want to tell us, AC, that you haven't told us yet?
yes, I come from the island of Cuba, and quiero decirte que somos cientólogos allá, y sabes, nosotros nos encantamos hacer ciencia y entender a Xenu, y también nos encanta, sabes, Satans y
El
OT8,
sábado gigante.
OT8. Yo soy 8, ¿tú?
I have no idea what you just said.
Estoy muy clear.
El sábado gigante.
Sábado. Very nice. Very nicely done. Very nicely done.
I was just wondering what those were
Sorry,
because I'm
guys.
like, what is the flag? Do they have their own flag? Do they
Yeah,
have
they
their
do.
own?
They do have their own symbols, so that's him. Look at him. And then that's the guy who like was at L. Ron Hubbard's side. He was a
When
kid.
he died.
When he died. And
It looks like him.
a little bit. Yeah. Scientologists all look the same. Is that what you're saying? That's racist.
No, it's Scientologist.
What's up, Johnny? Looks like Harry Potter shit. What's going on? That's my brother-in-law. How you doing, bro?
Hey.
Hey.
So yeah, that's what these people fucking do, man. And that's all the Dianetics books. And
All the Dianetics books? There was
well, there's many more, but that's all the specific ones that like
right.
turned it into a religion. You know, like it was self-help, and then it turned into physically. Like, how else do you make money? I mean, it's to make a global revenue stream of
Religion.
people without global revenue stream of people who are indoctrinated. You know, you have to cap it off because it's finite. Like your business model. Your business model is to get to the end, right? That's when you maximize all of your revenue from the person that you're trying to sell to, right? Like
It's the ultimate pyramid scheme.
right. Without it's a Ponzi scheme of knowledge.
Mhm.
It's a knowledge Ponzi scheme because it's not like you have to get other people, like, you know, you want to get other people into it, but also like once you get to that top of the pyramid, like you said, it like what you've paid to what you learn and how you feel, it does not equate to what you paid, you know.
Mm-mm.
So that's the house of cards falling when you're like, oh, it's
That's
Xenu.
why they've added a few levels. Like,
And-
oh shit, it's not
Yeah.
OT8. Now you got OT, 11 or whatever it is.
Yep. And OT9 is not in yet, so OT9 is not happening because L. Ron Hubbard never wrote it. So there's
Well, yeah,
no
they've
where to
said that,
go.
shit, we found these other things and now it's OT9 and
Yeah. Let's keep going a little bit here. Rose, you got something?
Nope, I'm good. Keep going.
He just storms in and he grabs Mike around the neck. And
David
he's-
Miscavige.
David Miscavige grabs Mike around the neck and he starts strangling
Mike Rinder.
and shaking him and strangling and holding just this grip. And his face is turning colors and you could tell that he couldn't breathe. His eyes are just bugged out. And then he
Our
takes
picture.
him and he throws the chair down.
Yes.
Throws him by his
There we
neck
go.
down
For
the
those of
leather.
you guys who weren't here last week for this one, oh wow, that looks even trippier. Fuck.
does.
These people just got ugh. So these people
Colors
so these
and
people are
you could
fucking
tell that he
literally
couldn't breathe.
AI. And we
They
found
are.
out if you look at last week's episode, is that these people, if you really, really look there,
Mhm.
these people aren't
No, they are not.
these are AI
Yeah,
generated
these
people.
are
Guys are the
recruited.
same. I mean, gosh bless.
We went through
And-
it. Like we went through their
We did.
faces and we're like, this is a cut and paste job. Look at this person peeking. You know,
Look at
you have all of
Hey,
these
look at
folks
the
like
hat. I got this hat at a, like a hat store, right? Look at their hats, the same fucking hat. $9.99 at the hat store.
Yeah, imagine buying in bulk. They got a good discount for as many of those hats
They
that they had to
probably got
order.
them for $8 instead.
And just to be clear,
You know what? This hat's going with me to Vegas. I'm going to
Oh,
Vegas.
it
I'm gonna
should.
rock in
It
Vegas.
should.
you better bring that fucking hat. We're gonna do a podcast poolside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Um,
so what happens is here is that all these people are AI generated. I think they're mix and match. I don't think there are those many people with pressed uniforms like that. And keep
No.
in mind that L. Ron Hubbard was in the Navy. Why do you think these people look like this?
Because it's his fever dream of we're gonna make a a militia of people who are Navy like, you know.
And they'll follow me.
Yes.
You know, in my
Right.
teachings. Oh, all right, let's finish up with David
Teachings all
Miscavige.
all right.
All right.
Ooh.
And he throws the chair down, throws him by his neck down onto the ground, and the chair toppled over too.
Rinder admits he too was violent, along with other managers in Scientology.
That change anything for you? That he admits that he was violent?
No. He's always admitted he was violent, and of course he was.
That was part of his job.
So that was cool. And then because that
wasn't
was part of his job.
cool.
Well, I mean, not cool, but like, you know, for lack of a better term, that's cool. Just hit your coworkers. It's fine.
It's fine.
So no, but we're willing to allow him to tell us about his Scientology and all this, and make him like a kind of like a good guy, even though you know he was a bad guy because he had to be. So we'll chalk that up to Scientology. But are we also trying to put the wife hitting in the Scientology part too, or is that's a different echelon? You know?
I think it's
It's
I think they run
there.
parallel.
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
just wish it would. I wish they would have been. I wish this would have been brought up because that kind of changes a little bit of how I feel about
Yeah,
things.
exactly. Right.
I think if you're going to do this in your job, and I don't think he was brainwashed. I think he did this willingly, and he believed in the cause. You know what I mean? Like, let's be
Stop busting my bubble.
Let's liken it to anybody in the military.
It's like beating up people for Jesus.
I mean, let's liken it, and I'm not saying the military is bad. I'm just saying you do.
Hang on.
You do. What you're told.
Johnny's in the Air Force. Go on.
Okay, you do what you're told. Sorry, Johnny. But I also think that if you're doing one thing in this part of your life, it can bleed over into this part of your life. I'm not saying that it's good, but either way, we can't say if he's doing this because of he's brainwashed for Scientology that if he hits his wife, it's different. I think it's all. I think it's all the same, and I think whatever. I
Stop
think
busting- stop
I don't
busting my
think.
bubble.
I think he kind of is that person that was like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking hit somebody.
I mean, if you're in that board, if you're sitting in that boardroom, and you have the power to hit somebody, you're gonna fucking hit.
You're fucking do it.
Right? Like, you're gonna fucking do
No, I think whether it's his wife or a fucking Scientologist that isn't falling in line, he's gonna fucking do it,
I guess the question was
and he
like,
doesn't feel bad about it.
right?
I really don't.
That's
I don't think he
sociopathic
feels,
behavior.
Yes, I
being a
don't think he
sociopath.
feels bad about it.
Right. That's sociopathic. Like I can go about my day, fucking hit somebody, and be like, you know,
I'm good.
Continue. Right. That's just part of my job. Get it together, motherfucker.
I just farted. Let's go.
And careful, Sam. Mr. Rose is ex-military and a military contractor.
I'm not
so,
saying
like,
that
you're
military is
sandwiched in
bad.
between. Careful.
Fuck off.
I
I'm
just
not
want to say,
saying
like,
that it's,
stop busting my bubble, okay? I want to believe something in my little bubble. Can I just stay in my little bubble, please?
I mean, you
Your bubble
can,
burst
but does
15
that
minutes
make
ago.
us better people, or does it make us better people to go outside of our bubble?
There you go again.
It does. It
There
does.
you go
Love
again.
you, Rose.
We should change the name of this
There you go
podcast
again.
to Bubble Burst or Bursting Bubbles.
This is welcome to Bursting Rose's Bubble podcast.
Yeah, that's not weird at all. And then there's like a little meter on the bottom where it's like every episode it's like how far in the meter she has to burst in her bubble.
Hold on. I need 2 cans. Hold on. Oh, here we go.
She needs 2 cans.
Audit. You better tell us all of your secrets in Scientology. You better tell us all your fucking secrets in Scientology.
Yeah, no.
You're not telling us your secrets?
No, not even when I go to Vegas with you guys. Well, I'll tell you my
Oh,
secret.
fuck off.
Oh, don't be a suppressive person.
Yeah. No,
Don't
we're
you
the
dare.
suppressive people.
Are you gonna have 2 tomato cans when I land from the
I
airport?
feel like I'm the suppressive person right now.
Oh, we're gonna audit. So what we should do is when we get together in Vegas on March 9th,
Eighth.
9th-ish.
8th.
No, 8th.
8th. Is that when we're gonna go? We're gonna go live March 8th.
8th
Yes.
and 9th.
8th
Yes.
and 9th.
Oh, both. Okay. So
I
I'll
mean,
set
we don't
aside-
have to go live both nights,
I'd
but
like
we'll
to.
see each other both nights.
I'd like to. We
Yeah.
should be
We'll see
poolside.
each other both nights.
We only really need one restream. We could do restreams on our phone.
I melt in the
honestly, so we
pool,
can
so
do this.
I really can't do pool or this.
So,
No,
so really, I'm gonna bring my.
The
I'm,
Wicked Witch of the West.
I'm gonna
You
bring.
melt.
I'm gonna bring my roadcaster.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I was gonna say I was gonna bring my roadcaster to the wherever
Yes.
we do it. So we're gonna have as many professional microphones as we can.
Yes.
So
yes, and I will be bringing my wireless one, so we're good.
ooh, more technical shit so it can break. God damn it. God damn it.
They'll have insurance. That's okay. I'm making sure they're insured, so if something happens, I can come back and be like, "Hey, these fell in the pool. Sorry."
Can you get
Drunk
the
night.
fucking presidential suite when you
We'll see what
when you
happens.
come? We'd
We'll
really
see what
appreciate it.
happens.
We'd really appreciate it if you fly in on your own plane. If you can please fucking get us,
Mhm.
you know, the
Mr.
Michael
Rose,
Jackson suite.
Mr. Rose, if you're listening,
Use his points.
you know, you know what to do. Do the presidential suite.
Use his win
Do
points.
the thing.
Yeah.
Do your
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
Mr. Rose.
Is he gonna be there during the pod?
No. Unfortunately, he's not coming with me. I'll be traveling alone.
Oh.
Well, I'll be him and his.
Well, not alone. Remember, we're after the podcast. We're just all gonna sleep in that room.
Yes.
You know what?
All happy.
You know what? It's 2 separate. I know it's 2 separate rooms. I know there's 2 separate rooms. So
I'll
I've
bring my
got the
pod- I'll
bedroom,
bring-
and then
I'll bring
We're
my
just gonna have a big old
podcast.
sleepover.
My podcast jammies.
yes, sleep. Oh, we should get matching jammies.
Oh, we
not-
By the way,
should.
We should do the podcast in jammies and onesies.
Yes.
yes. By the
That'd be
way,
hot as fuck. God damn.
for all of our listeners, and we will be. Roses Are Red podcast is actually traveling to Vegas to meet up, and we will be doing our podcast in Vegas, and we're all meeting up for the first. Well, for the first time, I will be meeting Sam.
Yes.
Who we met before, so this is
Yeah.
exciting.
I've met both
And,
of them separately.
So we're all gonna be meeting at the same time for the first time.
I've
For the first time.
I've met Rose. I've met Sam and Dave, but Rose and Sam and Dave haven't met. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
really the
gonna be
only bridge that they have.
So yes, they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna actually be able to see all my wrinkles and all the little fine
Same.
lines.
Well, that's what I'm going to
Same.
be staring at. Yeah, that's what I care about.
Nobody cares about that shit.
Can't wait for my friends to come and count their wrinkles.
Well,
But yeah,
you,
count my gray hair.
Rose, and AC and I are all the same age, correct? Very
We
much-
are.
very,
Mhm.
very close to the same age.
Mhm.
I
Born
think
in
by
the
month.
same year. Born in the same year, at least.
I think by months. We're only separate by months,
I'm
Right.
January.
and I'm
Rose.
June.
I'm December of the same
So
year.
there we go.
You're the
Yes.
baby.
I am the baby.
Aw.
But how
Baby.
cool is that? I mean, that's really that's kind of cool, you know. And Dave's the old guy. He's 11
There you
years
go.
older than us.
Thumbs up. You got a thumbs up.
Dave's the old guy. Just
Dave's
like a
the old guy. Oh,
little,
you did
little
it.
old guy emoji.
I don't know how to do that.
So we will be in Vegas on the 8th. We will not be next week. Rosa Red will not be on. We will be launching our everybody's new podcast, which is Sam and Dave's. What is it called?
Well, it's all of ours.
It's all
Who's
of ours.
coming
We'll
with
do it
me?
together.
Yes.
You can find it in the same places that you found this podcast right now. So we're
Mm-hmm.
all going to go live on each other's channels, but we're just going to be looking at some spicy memes and reacting to them because we have some bangers.
Yeah, we're gonna
Bangers.
just laugh at shit we shouldn't, and we figure how was your day? And Roses Are Red will take a week break, but we'll take Friday to launch this, and then going forward, we may not do it on a Friday night. We might, or we may even after our podcast. So we'll figure that out. But
I think by next Friday, I may get a different. We're going to try a StreamYard maybe next Friday and do it through there. That's going to be fun.
we
So
can try that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll host it.
Okay.
That way it'll be easy, and we can have a little meeting about how it works and stuff like that. Well, I kind of want
Absolutely.
to try something new.
Yeah, sounds good.
And
Yeah.
so, is there any last words you guys want to say about this to wrap this Scientology up? Any last words, thoughts? Did anything of these 2 weeks of going through all this digging and diving and really brain frying, because it pretty much fried my brain for sure. I don't know about you guys, but it did fry mine. Is there any last words that you guys would like to say?
Well, the last
Words or
little bit,
thoughts?
the last little bit of anything you had for this was fried now when you found out Mike Render hit his wife.
Yeah, that really, like, you know what, that just like just stabbed me in the heart right now, because I'm like, I really like the guy. Like, you have no idea. I really liked him, especially because he backs him up so much.
Right. You
And I'm
want to like
just
him.
like,
He's a crusader against evil. We all like
Most
that.
narcissists are very liked on the surface. So, I mean,
I know,
let's
but
be
this is a
real.
bubble. This is a bubble that I just
I
got
don't think
out.
that's a thing, but I was hoping it was. No, we burst your bubble, and I'm so sorry. Normally,
Hell yeah. Super
yes.
excited, Tiff.
Oh,
Hell
it's
yeah.
totally gonna happen.
It's
And
gonna
then
be crazy.
It's gonna be amazing.
If you anybody who wants to come up with us too, and just
Yeah.
instead of sitting there in the audience, you don't have to have your camera, or you can. And join us. Hit a link and join us. I think we can have up to 10 people. That would be ridiculous, but
Yeah.
But
we can bring one by one up, or send us your worst fucking videos, and we're gonna fucking post them, and we're
link
gonna
us up.
fucking laugh.
Link us up.
Well, and leave a message too. Be able
Yeah.
to leave a live message. Go ahead and we'll play it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited for the next couple of weeks that's coming up, and especially our trip to Vegas. I'm super excited, which is like
I'm stoked.
I'm 2 days of mommy free of all duties.
Yay!
Hurry up. I'm already here, guys.
A month and 6 days. A month and 6
idea.
days.
A month and 6
yeah.
days.
That's
This
correct,
is how
right?
bad I am. This is how bad I am. Is it bad to tell you that I've already packed for my Vegas? Is it bad to say that?
You've already packed?
You are
I
excited.
am not gonna pack until I get off of work that day and we leave for the airport.
I've got 2 suitcases, and I've got one already for my trip for, I'm going to Canada, and I'm going to Seattle. I've got that already planned. My bag's already done. But then I've got my Vegas bag, and that's already done too.
Oh my
Is
gosh.
it bad? That's bad, isn't it?
I
No,
mean,
The only
not.
one thing is missing is
You're
my
a planner.
shoes.
You're a planner.
I'm not.
Is my shoes. I can't figure out if I want to wear heels or boots. So it's my only my shoe problem
I mean,
right
you
now.
pack both and decide when you get there.
Thanks, Southern Hubs. Appreciate it, bro.
So,
Yes, thank you.
thank you, Southern Hubs.
It's good to
Thank
see you,
so
man.
much.
Yes.
It's good to see you,
Yeah.
bro. Thank you.
So any last words? And you guys?
I think Southern Hubs is gonna really like
Who's coming with me?
because
Yeah, me
he's
too.
a memer. He's a memer. He's gonna enjoy
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
We are going to push the envelope to see.
As long as Southern Hubs can leave us one message on that show is when he's yelling at his kids like he always does. Back in the day, remember?
Yeah. Oh, Tiffy
Molly.
says the Rosa.
Oh,
Man.
I'm so jelly. I'm so jelly.
Yeah.
Girl, hey, hold up. We can always drop you a link if you want to go live from Bali. We'll interview you from Bali.
Yes,
If you want to be
absolutely.
on there, and you
Awesome.
can do a little fucking screen share because I would love to see Bali.
Yes,
awesome.
If we're doing that.
absolutely.
If you're down, we're down.
I haven't been there since I was a kid.
Alrighty, guys. Love every and each one of you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
And can't wait to see you guys next week.
Next week for some laughs instead of deep dives.
Yes, yes. And if there's anything you guys want us to deep dive, please leave a message. Tell us, hey, you know what? There's a story I've been watching, and maybe you guys want to touch base on it. And you know what? We'd be more than happy to.
For the love of God, leave a comment, like, subscribe, share it with somebody.
Yeah.
All of those things, any engagement whatsoever helps the channel grow. We get more people that are interested in what we're talking about, and yada yada. You know the deal. So, thank you. I know
Fucking support us.
I hate to hear it. I hate to say that, and I hate to hear it when I'm watching videos, but it's super
Whatever.
important.
It's important. And
It's
people do
important.
it because
Please
you
do
say it.
And it's free for
It
now until we monetize it. And then
Subscribes are free.
we're gonna lock all you motherfuckers out.
On that note, I'm going back to the Sea Org organization.
There it is. Sea Org.
hold on, I can't even see the end. But okay, I'm going back to
Can
the
you
organization.
Put your finger on the button.
Love y'all.
Love ya.
Good night.